Hey, what's going on today? I lost the freaking mouse. I don't know
Adam's
the mouse.
does not work.
Oh, is it down? Oh, it's on the wrong thing. It's down here. I changed the thing. What's up? Welcome to the Adam and Ryan show. We need some
Ooh, Adam and Ryan Hangout.
we changed the name.
The Adam and Ryan Hangout.
It is, which is because you're hanging out with us. So
Totally.
welcome to the show. How y'all doing tonight?
That's the vibe. That's the vibe of the show. It's a cool hangout where we get to talk about our fun things and talk with you.
Absolutely. So we started a little something new. We really threw out some of the ideas that we're going to be talking about tonight in there. And of course, what are we talking about? We're not talking about AI at all.
Oh, of course not. Of course. You know, that's what I tell people at work. I'm like, I will stop talking about AI when that stops being the most interesting thing that is happening around art and technology right now. So yes, we're going to be talking about it. A little bit of Google stuff, a little bit of OpenAI stuff. Yeah.
Just new developments. I think we
New
say this every. It grows every single time. It's like a whole world of craziness has changed every single time we do something like this.
We do this show every 2 weeks, and literally always within those 2 weeks, new and cool and interesting stuff that I play with and want to talk about come up. We're never lacking.
Heck no. You know the funny thing? I was thinking about this today. Here's a comment. So I was in my car. Truck actually, and I was doing a text to somebody or doing something, and I saw some clouds coming in, and I was sitting in the car, and I was thinking about like the show and how we were like at the forefront of a lot of the AI stuff before a lot of people were talking about it to the levels that we were. Totally. And I was thinking about that. But then complete side note, like hail just started like going down. It's like, holy crap. And I got in my truck and I was driving and like crazy, like a bat out of hell to get to the thing. But
it's hail season.
It's
hail season in Colorado.
Oh my gosh.
Literally we have, you know, our house is messy. And so our garage, of course, it doesn't not fit a car into it. So when hail started, we were like, oh God, we spent, 2 frantic hours like cleaning it out and putting all the stuff off to the side or throwing things away or donating it. And so that's all good. But then now we can get one car into there. And so now and it like barely fits. Like you have to put it like right up against it. So anytime there's hail, we're like cram it in our garage.
I heard you could get those like pool noodles and create like a thing, like a barrier for your car.
I saw that as a meme, but wouldn't the wind just blow that away like instantly? Like every time there's hail, it's not like there's hail and no wind.
That's true.
I mean, it's still
it gets a little crazy. So what have you been up to? It's been hot. Oh my gosh. I'm like hot. Right now, look how sweaty we are. It's gross.
This is a working studio. This
is good.
Did a whole mud run thing, going whitewater rafting this weekend for the first time I've ever done that.
Wait, you've done it or you're going for it?
We're literally leaving tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. Be careful with that, but have fun too. That's a hella fun thing. Are you taking kiddos in it and everything?
It's like a family one, like they pick a river that's like appropriate for, I think it was like 7-year-olds or something could be on the thing. Like it's not going to be crazy, I don't think.
We went on this one. I took the kids, right? And this was like 2 years ago in this vacation. And so they're like, hey, you're going rafting. And I did that same thing. I got on the one for the kids. And this guy's like, you want to go on this cooler one? I'm like, my kids aren't like ready for that. And he's like,
it's all good.
So he pulls us into that, right? And we're like, it gets kind of crazy. And we're watching ahead. And there's this lady on the raft ahead. And then she just like bounces out, flies into the water, and the rat just like crushes over her. And we're like, holy shit. And I was like grabbing the kids and like, hold on. Man. And it was like and then the hilarious thing about this, the best thing about the whole thing is that this company hires there's a cyclist road up next to it. So they'll have people on bikes taking pictures of you so they can sell it to you at the end, and they totally got the whole thing. Her popping out, falling in, and everyone
it was like at the moment.
Yeah, and so everyone was like wanting to buy that family's pictures. So they're like, buy that, we will throw that in there because it was so good. And she was like, get rid of that. It was pretty hilarious.
You're like not allowed to buy the picture of the lady looking like a complete fool.
Oh my god!
Well, I will have to remember that if they say, hey man, let's do the fun round.
Fun one.
Did you have paddles?
Hell yeah.
Or so you were like legit paddling the whole time and stuff. I think that's how this one is. It's probably the exact same freaking thing.
Well, where are you going? Glenwood?
Buena Vista.
Okay. No, I was up in Glenwood.
And this one, like, I know a person who used to live and do, like, whitewater rafting tours in high school and college who used to live there. And so he gave us a place that's, like, good. I'm hoping that it's just good.
Well, no, that's good. I mean, it's a hella fun thing. Good little family thing.
Yeah.
Good luck and
Yeah.
have some good times.
Totally. No.
Hey, so we got 5 people with us tonight. Let us know in the chat who's with us. We know our number 1 fan there. First one that jumps in.
Of course.
Hey, what's up, Stealth Mouse? And but let us know what's going on. We got some things we want to talk about. We always have things to talk about.
Totally. Talent in the chat. Just saw Talent. We're gonna talk a little bit about Audio Palm from Google. I feel like that is a very cool thing that has just come out and sort of makes me think about larger things. That might be our big topic today. And then also OpenAI released to the public their beta, if you're in the Premier or whatever OpenAI ChatGPT tier, that you can get this beta called Code Interpreter, and it does a couple things. It does data analysis, but it also does like visual stuff too. So we're going to try both of those.
And we're going to start from scratch. Like my version of ChatGPT doesn't have it in it yet because we haven't turned on the plugin. So hopefully we can.
We're going to be doing it from the moment we get into it.
This is like the show where we do it live and we just pivot if things don't go right. So Talon today, I never even responded to you. Text me a YouTube video which I haven't watched yet. So we're going to watch that. Right? I just watched the thing. I think we should check that one out. It looks cool. Something about 3D printing.
And then, of course, we're doing the AI board game.
Hell yeah.
We worked on it. You'll never guess, team. Adam and I did work on a thing for the show in between shows. It's amazing.
We spent a lot of time.
It took a while. It took a couple of hours. It was working.
It's for y'all because that's the whole point. It's like we were excited. We were like, all right, we got to the point that.
Oh, nice.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Disturb?
So what we want to do is we want to play the game with you.
Yeah.
And we want to get it in your hands so that you can go print it or whatever you want to do and you can take it and check it out because you've been here with us on this journey.
Totally. Well, we need to play test it with actual real people in a real life scenario who don't have all of the rules and nuances in their head. And so part of that is we need to write up instructions.
Which we did.
And now we just need to sort of narrow them down and make some decisions. I feel like we're at that good point where we have played through the game multiple times. We figured out sort of in things and what the main gameplay is and how the characters and enemies work. And so when we wrote it all down, it showed here's the maybe 5 or 6 areas that we still need to make decisions on. So that's probably what we'll do.
And it still goes with the original theme. We took some of those original game concepts and everything was really generated from AI. There's a couple scenarios we'll talk about, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we were so open. If you remember, and it was crazy. It's been over 10 or 11 episodes, which means that's been over
6 months,
20 weeks ago to make this damn thing. But I don't know. When you start thinking about that, I remember originally like, this is so crazy. You could ask ChatGPT and you get all this shit right away. But it comes down to showing how AI can help you, but you still need some of that creativity to do some of the work.
Just like we've been saying for a long time. At this point right now, it's just a cool, amazing tool to use, just like anything else is a cool tool that could be used, just like something from Adobe or, any other program, right? You use it to help you and it brings you along in a certain thing.
I'm excited about it.
Me too.
Because that's the
I've gotten more positive on it actually.
Really?
I feel like I feel less dystopian about it and maybe that's just I'm
with AI or in general.
Yeah, like the whole thing in general. Which
fair enough.
We might, not to jinx it, we hopefully might have a guest on the show, which we want to talk a little bit about that sort of topics.
Yeah, we tried to get that for tonight, but they weren't able to step in with us, which is totally fine because they were obviously doing their cool stuff. So. One of the things last time, if you remember, we didn't necessarily show it. We put it in the Discord, so join us on the Discord if you're not there.
So double drop down if you're not on the Discord.
Yeah, let's see here. I always have this issue with this. Let's see if I could figure this out. Okay. There's our little guy.
With the shotgun.
That's
not his side penis hanging out. It's a shotgun.
I just think it looks cool. So I think after... we did this, we decided, all right, they're just going to hold one weapon and maybe have a backpack on. So that was a first character meeple that we printed from last time.
Yeah. Those things we might need to just dial in.
Yeah.
But then also, too, we also know, he does look a little bit like that. Maybe that's see, and I feel like now that we have these generic shapes, we need to do backstories on them, right? Because we're gonna have to mid-journey up some like character pictures of what all these look like. And I love the idea that we started with the most generic outline of them, and now we need to create like a mid-journey amazing realistic photo of like how they would look in real life, and this is their meeple.
I didn't even think about how sweet that's gonna be.
And we got to ChatGPT some backstory too.
Man,
right?
we need that.
Yeah,
and it'll be good. All right.
Because why would you choose? It's like that's why you're choosing a character in a thing like this, right? You're
Heck
like, I want to play as that little robot girl or whatever the hell we have.
But what the cool part is, and what I really love about it, is I've been playing through the board. I've been playing with it to say, okay, how could this work? Because I took the instructions, and the board stays here on the thing.
Yeah.
And so I was running through some of these concepts, and it got me excited even at that point.
Nice.
So I think we got it tuned in to where we have a playable piece. So if you have any insights, of course, throw it in the chat tonight.
Totally. I was going to say, man, we always need help from people who play board games. Like, you know, obviously if you've designed or thought about doing board games, that's amazing. But I mean, everybody plays board games, right? So they see things and
I would hope.
they play board games that I don't know about.
and so we started super open, and now we're closing in. So we're not really adding too much new stuff, but you maybe if you're like, hey, yeah, this way versus this way. So we'll talk about that once we get to the instructions, because we'll save that for that conversation. But what do we got first in store for the evening?
Well, so if you want to, I mean, we could do Google Audio Palm, or we could do the ChatGPT interpreter. Which one would you rather do? Would you rather do like the large theoretical discussion about future AI craziness where Ryan goes on rants because he came up with this topic? Or do we go into the more like, oh, here's a hands-on thing that we're playing in a new software you've never played with?
Well, let's start. Let's start with the talk, and then that way, because and if things go bad with this plugin, because we don't know how this thing's gonna go, we can default to some other kind of fun.
Yeah,
one thing we also didn't mention, but we may get to tonight a little bit, is this was let's try if we get this. Oh, it's never gonna work when I do this. I need to get like a different camera that does it, because it knows our eyes, but you can see it from here. This was our player card, tells you like the actions for it, but then on the back of it, it has kind of like a way that you track
hit points.
But we want to keep developing this concept, because each player is going to have their cool little board. So Midjourney could also help us create that. So
well, that's what I think. Like, it's going to be a larger board that everyone has, and that's how we're going to be like moving and giving people hit points and taking it away. And that's also where the amazing picture is going to be with the little backstory. Like, I feel like it all needs to be just on like a cool like little card that you hold in front of you.
And you know what's cool about this is that when we started, we got a concept for the game, but we never had any way that we could play it. And then we focused on how to play the damn thing, thankfully. And now we're like full circle to say, we got it. We got the play. Now let's get all the fun part, and we're back to fun.
Yeah, because you need that. You need to know what you're going to build, right? Because if you don't practice it with little pieces of paper, then you end up building a bunch of crap you don't need. And so now we're in the building part again.
So we're there. So let's talk about this. You're talking about this Audio Palm. How do you say this? It's like,
I think that's just it. Audio Palm. But it has capitals and lowercase letters in weird places because it's
audio. And then P, I don't know what it stands for, A, but LM is language model.
Right.
So Audio Paw language model.
It's the papa of all language models. Do you want to bring up our...
Do you have a thing for it? Oh, we even have a slide. This is a new thing we're trying out here.
Mike Azul in chat.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Okay. This is a thing. This is a slide that we made to talk about for a second until we get into the actual whatever.
Oh yeah, no, we're trying to do some stuff with the show. Just give you a heads up. So it's now the Adam and Ryan show Hangout. So welcome to the Hangout.
There's no show.
Adam and Ryan Hangout. Welcome to Adam and Ryan.
We just
welcome to the Adam Ryan Hangout.
We just kind of made that up, before we started, but we like it.
No, what the thing is we've been hanging out with y'all, and this is what we do. We love to hang out. It all started with that. We called it a show, but it's hanging out with our friends.
Hangout.
So welcome Thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah.
And so as we start jumping into this, what is Audio Palm? I don't know yet. I don't know much about it.
So nice. Ooh, I feel like you need some like jazzy music in the background if we're going for lounge. So Audio Palm is this thing that Google has been working on. I'm not sure if it's part of their like DeepMind section of AI or if it's its own, part. I mean, I'm sure all of Google is working on AI shit right now. But like what Audio Palm is it's trying to do like all like language capture and translation, but with your own voice, basically training the model that it's giving you back, right? So let's say even right now, if I tried to get something to translate it, it's going to give it back in this robot voice that doesn't sound anything like mine, right?
Oh, okay.
So now this one, it's listening to you, right? It's picking up what you're doing. And so it's translating it back maybe into a different language. I mean, definitely into a different language. That's what it's for.
Okay.
With the same like in it, like it basically, it has sort of the same inflection that you have and the same cadence of your speech and accent and everything, right? And so we can look at a video. They have like so they basically put out like a white paper, a research paper on it. And so it's not, I don't think it's like out for everyone to be trying or doing anything with, but okay, let me get your first, no. I was saying, do your first impression. What you think from just that?
So I was going to just I'm going to throw out there because I was thinking before the show, I didn't bring a lot of the topics into today. And so you're helping me kind of get back onto what's happened these last couple of weeks or, what's been working on. But I did read an article that this just made me think of is that awesome. We're always on the positive side of things. And of course we go down the philosophical toilet bowl. But as far as other things, people have been using this for the negative to take a kid's voice and act like they're kidnapped and extort money from people. 100%. So there's these other implications to these things. But on the flip side, I see Star Trek Universal Translator. This is the thing that you can... Right. We're going to just have one in our ear and we can talk whatever language and everyone's going to understand each other.
Totally. And that's kind of what I was because this doesn't feel that far away from, my Google Home button on my phone or whatever. Or maybe there would just be a translate. Imagine just holding that up to your face and speaking that, and then it just speaking out in the same accent and everything as you out to the person in Japanese though, right? And I feel like, God, what does that feel? What does that do to society off the top of your head? At first blush, what does Universal Translator do to society? Make it worse or better?
Ooh. Well, you know what? I think it could help a lot of things, but I could also see languages going away that are not in this kind of a thing, little nuanced dialects or other cool things about a language that we do, or you lose a little bit of the inflections that you might put, and it's trying to do its best, but it doesn't do it 100%. So I think I can see this one's. I'm a little in the middle on this. I think it can enhance a lot of things. I imagine I'm thinking of politics, and they have those folks that have the translators there, and now this is just everyone hanging out and doing the thing.
Well, it's like having that translator in your ear, and those are important professionals, that are doing it. But I think that what it does is because when they do big, you have the UN together, right? And they're making big decisions. They have those translators there that are doing almost that exact thing, right? I mean, maybe it's, it's not using their exact tone or whatever, let's say, but they're translating in real time for those people. So I was like, is that really going to help with all of that? But what I think it does is it helps you in those non-UN moments, right? All of those little moments where you're just that person is other than me, right? Because they speak this other language and they're weird and I don't like them. And so then you start, being those other people, get them out of here or tax them more, or they're lazy or whatever, right? And then so if you have a universal translator, it's a little easier to have empathy for someone if they're on the news and talking to you about their thing and it's coming out in their real voice and it's real stuff. I don't know. I feel that's a good thing.
I think there's some great things with it. I also then as we talk about it more, I'm because an AI is in the middle, I see it kind of changing what you're actually saying and you don't know what's going on. And so
Right.
it's like a way for people to like, you're like, hey, Ryan. And it's really like, screw you, Ryan. And you're like, what the hell?
Well, you know what? I'm not going to download the prank app. You know, like, I mean, it's just going to be a Google app. Google apps aren't just like fucking with me for no reason.
Yeah, but if people get in there and like hack the thing or whatever,
I guess,
but,
you know.
No, so I think it's cool. So you say there's a video on this. Do we need to check out some audio palm? Oh man, they're all right.
This is a legit. I mean, this is the paper that their scientific paper that they wrote.
So
on
let's
this,
break it
right?
down.
Totally. There's the abstract, right?
No, this is
Like,
good.
But I mean, the demo video. Is
I
want
to take a quick look at this right here. So audio tokens, text tokens, pre-trained on text.
You're gonna try to figure out
data. No, it's just like an overview of what it's doing. I don't know what these tokens mean.
A token is
decoder.
probably bite-sized pieces of the language or something.
Yeah, so I think it's just trying to explain how it would all, push something out. So you say something on this left-hand side and blah 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 blah. Yeah. Ciao, Mondo.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch the video. Let's see what we all think
Hey,
of this.
It's 4 minutes,
I
but
was
we don't
thinking
have
that
to watch the
for
whole
the AudioPalm
thing.
website, it would be cool to make a video where everyone speaks their own language and AudioPalm translates it to English, showing how a single model can understand and translate
Everything
all
to
these
English, huh?
languages.
Yeah.
When would you all be
It only
free to
does
make
the
some
English
recordings?
now.
Sono libero venerdì pomeriggio. I am free on Friday afternoon.
Holy crap.
Ja, also ich denke, Morgenstund hat Gold im Mund, nicht wahr? Wie ginge es euch am Donnerstagmorgen oder am Freitagmorgen? Well, I think that the early bird gets the worm, doesn't it? How is it for you on Thursday morning or Friday
I
morning?
mean, that sounds like him.
Also
You
das
know, it's a little
Englische
robot-y.
natürlich
Yeah, no, okay, I'm gonna take a pause for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of scary.
It's
Like,
good. I don't know how like fast it's doing that or anything, but
Yeah.
pretty good.
Stannis Tirabo. But the one who sleeps well will wake up with the cleanest head.
Très bien, alors ce sera vendredi après-midi.
Very well. Then it will be on Friday afternoon.
Later on Friday afternoon, the team gathers to make some recordings and reflect on the project.
क्या तुम्हें याद है जब हमने इस प्रोजेक्ट पे काम करना चालू किया था तब ये विश्वास करना भी मुश्किल था कि हम इतनी तरक्की करेंगे
Do you remember when we started working on
I
this
feel like that
project?
sounds a lot like him.
It was also difficult to believe that we would make so much progress.
It was like at that last part too. It was like even he must have stumbled or something. I wonder if because here's the thing though, and I'm learning Spanish right now, and so sentence structure and the ways that things kind of go around. So if you're putting inflection on one part in your native language, I wonder how that translates
I bet
into
it
the
sucks.
areas.
I bet it sucks at it now, but what does that look like in a year, right?
We just thought that Palm for audio would be cool.
Chúng ta đã xây dựng được các mô hình ngôn ngữ lớn cho văn bản và âm thanh. We have built up the large language models for text and audio.
You know, it's funny. It's like what it also does for me is like some of these other languages just sound
sweet.
super complex.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, you see like
And then the English, it's just almost English sounds like I don't even know what I want to say. Like, I don't know, because we speak so much English, it just seems not as cool. Like when you hear it in another language, you're like, if it sounds like they're saying something profound, and then you see what they say, and you're like,
oh, right.
He
was
profound.
like, hey, you know, it'd be cool this thing. You're like, oh, I guess it looks so much better in Japanese.
Yeah, so Disturbed talking about just like cool events where there's other folks out there that are
So one thing, let's say if you were talking and you would have to be like interfacing with somebody's Bluetooth headset or something like that, right? Because if I'm talking and it's also blurting out what I just hear as gibberish other language at the same time, I don't think I could talk with somebody else, even my own voice, just being like blah, 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 over the top.
You know what it would be is you just have noise canceling headset,
or like your Bluetooth little earbud. Everyone would just have those, and I would be like, click, blah 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 to them, and in their side they would click it on it also, and it would just translate into their ear.
Are you touching, Ryan? We're well past the touching phase.
Yeah.
of
No, but I feel
things.
like I need to do like something that triggers it.
Implants. Let's just deaf ourselves and then like just
give me
plug
those
into
ear.
our
Just
brain.
give me those ear implants.
Let's hear a couple more.
Le modèle peut même traduire des paires de langues qu'il n'a pas vues en entraînement. The model can even translate pairs of languages that it has not seen in training.
That's pretty cool. Like Esperanto.
Do you think that the model really speaks all the languages of the parties, and that we can make a convincing presentation with it?
Does this go on for another 3 minutes?
Yeah, we're not doing the whole
No, I
thing.
was gonna say, like, is that all this is?
Yeah, let's
Them
see.
having a conversation, basically.
We can scrub forward and see if there's any takeaways from this. Did you not watch the video?
No, I watched like this part, and then I was basically.
I think it's impressive. Like I got to be honest with you. Okay, it's like a bunch of different languages.
Yeah.
Von 40,2. We can at least mention it here. So if we use a slightly larger palm model, the translation quality will be even better. We get a blue value of 40.2.
That probably made more sense if we had not skipped through 2 minutes of it.
โดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งเราเข้าใจกันได้ดีจริง
I have a very diverse
we
team.
really understand each other.
I'm sure they just brought a bunch of people. All right. This is sweet. I think it's. Thanks for bringing that to the table. I think that one's.
I mean, that feels like what these large language models might be the best at, right? Like I do want to talk a little bit maybe when Sam is here next time. But
Wait, what's this?
I didn't look at any of this.
High resource languages. Look at language accents. Translatatron. I love that.
Nice.
Translatatron. So we haven't explored this enough to look at all these things, but if you're interested in it, what we could do is chuck this into the chat if you'd like to check it out. So go check it out on Google Research on the
that's a good
GitHub there.
idea.
So
we should do that more. Just throwing links that we're using into the chat.
Yeah, so check that out. Go play with it. See what that looks like. Audio Palm, I think it's cool. So there's no way we can actually test it because it's all in just like a beta phase, or they're doing some other stuff with it.
What I did do is I did try. I think it was called Bark or something. I installed it to my Discord. It was just like Midjourney.
Yeah.
And you type in what you want it to say, and then you pick one of like dozens of different vocalizations, and then it reads it out in that, and it's supposed to be like a new cool way of doing that that's really high fidelity, and it was okay. You could tell it was. I didn't even bring it on the show. I was like, we'd have to like install it on Adam's thing. Forget it. But it shows you that they're starting that stuff. It's just like all of that stuff was garbage a year ago, and this is where we're at.
I know, it was like terrible AI. Now it's really good. All right, we have a thing here. Speaking how things translate. Dick and titten. Adam will love this. Big tits.
What? Oh, I missed that's right. Yeah, you take the word dick and translate thickness. Nice.
No, that's cool. I like that. So it just shows you that it's okay. We got the imagery, we got the text. Now it's starting to go language. We got some of the video that we've been looking at. So I think we have a really cool thing. So I want to go into the Chat GPT, but maybe we can take a quick detour.
Ooh, yeah,
and just take a quick video tour of something that Talon sent me today. I haven't seen this, but I know it has something to do with painting with filament. And we always are 3D printing something, and we might do some 3D printing a little bit. So let's just check out this quick video as kind of an in-between before we get into the meat of working with ChatGPT plugins here. Yeah, let us know what you think of this. It's like it's like if you have some thoughts on Palm, Audio Palm, like I want to know how you would use it, or
when do I have the Audio Palm where it makes it slightly more elegant, the things that I'm saying as it translates it.
So you just say certain things.
I just be like, where noodles? And it's like, hello, sir. Can you please point me to where the noodle shops are? I'm hoping to spend between $12 and $14.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that might make certain people that don't have a lot of emotional intelligence or like an eloquentness to themselves. It's gonna like confuse people a lot.
I could see that.
Listening to Rammstein would be awesome. I'm sure it would. All right, let's take a look at this video here. So I thought this was cool because I'm pretty sure that's a 3D print in a almost 2D way. Let's see if I can get this to play.
Maybe you've seen these around on social media and you've wondered what they are. Well, this is HueForge, and it turns things like this into things like this. Let's go. So we've seen colour lithophanes before. Those are a thing. In fact, you can now make those yourself pretty easily, but that's not what HueForge is. Lithofanes need to be held up to the light, and more importantly, they take ages to print because they have to do multiple colour changes on each layer. And if you want to do colour, you need a 4-colour capable system for the CMY and white, or whatever you're using. One that can swap multiple times per layer, and those systems are rare and expensive. You're looking at, say, an MMU or a Bamboo Lab X1
Oh, so that's what
AMS.
it's trying to get
even an
CMYK to
only
look at
have
that
two
because it's
colours,
going
so
back and forth between those
Viewforge
different
throws all that
filaments.
out of the window, and
But
instead it
but
works
what
for
they were talking about was a little different. So like there's ways that you can print things that are like sometimes a single color, and what you do is there's different thicknesses or whatnot, and you hold it up to the light and you can see imagery through that.
I see. Okay.
And so that's typically how
like
the
you would put it
images-
on a window or something.
Yeah,
That would
like
look
a
cool.
stained.
layered approach, a bit more like a printing press or screen printing, if you've ever done that.
This is
yourself.
almost like-
If you treat
Yeah,
filament
yeah.
like progressive layers of ink instead of trying to mix them on one
Neat.
layer, you can simply stack the layers on top of each other and you get an image. And just like screen printing or whatever, you don't need to change inks multiple times. You complete one color, you swap, and you complete another.
That's
colour.
awesome.
Yeah,
And
that's
This is
cool.
the clever part. With this method, you have a total of n-1 color changes, where n is the number of colors you need. It seems obvious when you think about it.
Yeah,
because
N
it's
minus
how
one.
Other processors already work.
So yeah,
for
layer, layer, and then
years. So you can make these things on just about any printer that you can stop long enough to change filament, which is most printers these days.
That's sweet.
That does. That looks great.
Like think about. Oh man, it's not even that thick.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so what is this tool? The Hue Forge. Of course, a pickle.
And you don't have to hold it up to a window, right?
No,
just
it's
like
just a
normal-
thing. It
it's
looks
just
like a
normal
cool
thing.
sticker is what
Yeah,
that looks
like a really thick vinyl sticker.
This seems totally doable. So have you done this?
Can we download? Somebody has to have.
This is the software right here.
Supplied me with a pre-release copy, but it should be close enough to the release version. It looks a bit overwhelming at first with all these dials, but at least initially you only need to concentrate, or mainly need to concentrate, on these ones at the bottom left. I don't intend for this to be a tutorial. I'll link to one in the description that's better than I can do. The basic premise, though, is that you load your image into the application and it appears on the right-hand side. And
then
choose
you
the color cutoff levels
you
using
tweak the
sliders I
levels.
just showed
Yeah.
you. It's important to note that these sliders each have their own color. And
It's really important that it has that visualization, so you can tell exactly what it's going to look like as you.
Or add your own.
What do you think? Should we do one of these? On,
Yeah,
like,
we should
let
totally
us
do
know.
one.
Like, stream. Like,
Also
is
a
this
parameter
what?
for transmissivity, which is the hardest word to say.
Like it would be
ever.
super sweet to
And
do
just
for
little
the
sliders, which
character
is one of the more important concepts that you need to get
things.
your head
It could
around
be
if
like
you're going
multiple
to
sort of
master
That'd be
different colors,
like the
and
logo
stuff.
for the
That'd be
board.
tough, yeah.
Is without getting too deep how much light your filament lets through.
All right. Like, I think we got the concept there, but that's awesome. Let's see if there's any other ones. So he's got. So he's just showing the pickles and how he did everything. Oh, like that frog looks sweet.
And it's neat that it's like it's flexible then too. So like he was showing almost like a bottle. I could see being like, oh, and then you would put it over the front
I
of
could
the
see
bottle.
Huge
Yeah.
potential on Etsy for things like door signs. I would do that myself if I wasn't so painfully behind on other things like making videos. Anyway, there you go. You came for Hue
He's
Forge
like, I'd
and
probably do
Hue
it, but
Forge.
whatever.
No, that one's good. I like that. So thanks for the share, Talon. This is what we can do. You send us things, it's on the stream. Like you saw
Totally.
it happen with Kylea.
Totally.
We did things there, and now
'Cause that's what we want. Community stuff.
no, I love that. So what? We got to just think of what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
probably
like
a
how that
cool
could-
So that's a fun story, just because like that's where Ryan and I really got to know each other. The screen printing.
That's true.
That was our background. So we used to in high school. We were in a screen printing. Man, I feel like it's somewhere even. I have shirts that
have
we have
shirts
that
still?
we printed.
Man.
Remember the guy where there was a guy pointing and it has like a crazy.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
That was amazing one. That was a cool guy. We used to. It was
We
always
had-
in the center of
we had
your,
a lot
your
of
chest.
yeah. We had a lot of like
Hell yeah, graphic arts.
We had a lot of Clerks or like Kevin Smith things. I remember we had sort of like a View Askew time where we were doing Jay and Silent Bob stuff.
I have every one of our screen printed shirts, Ryan.
Man,
every single one of them.
We had like beer shirt, didn't we? Oh, I think maybe we just ironed those on.
Has anybody ever done screen printing? Obviously Jason has.
Sure.
But the idea that there's 4 colors and how you get that, like, in the board there was the emulsion, and then you had to burn it in, and like you squeegee on things on the shirts. That was badass that we got to do that thing.
I worked at my cousin's screen printing shop for like 2 years after school, cleaning screens over and over again. And then I have a screen printing setup in my garage right now.
What?
Because I was doing the Half Pint Hero shirts.
I didn't know you were screen printing your own damn shirts.
I was screen printing my own shirts for that.
Holy crap. I did not know
I'll
that.
have to bring
Well,
some
I mean,
sometime.
it goes to that. Like, it's like screen printing with a 3D printer. So it takes some, like, setup. You'd want to make sure you could switch the filaments quite well. But that looks like a cool thing to do.
That's true.
I remember it was Mr. Dittmer, right?
God, Adam has the best memory for such things. I would have never remembered his name in 1,000 years.
And he smoked weed in the little like thing.
He seemed cool. He seemed cool.
Sorry for outing you.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably like, I was one day from retirement, and now they're gonna fire me.
I think he was basically retired
Totally,
when we were
100% he
still
was.
in
He's
school
dead
there.
for sure.
Oh Jesus! All right, ChatGPT.
Look up Mr. Dittmer. Tell me if he's alive or not.
We're moving on, Ryan. On to the next. All right. We got some ChatGPT into our visuals here. So if you haven't been messing with it, I love a couple things. One of the first things I'm going to show you is in the upper left-hand corner. I can hide all the things that I've been doing over here.
All the dumb stuff that Adam's been like trying to
you
put
know
into...
what? There's been these all kinds of people when I was on Reddit and now on some of the other kind of areas that talk about AI that I go on, like on Lemmy or Beha and all these things, they still talk about AI, is that people are still just trying to break it and do stupid things with it. I'm like, I want to see the cool, innovative things. And like, how does it help you? And sometimes I have these great thoughts, or I got an email that I wrote up and I'm like, man, that doesn't seem right. And I chuck it in there and I'm like, give me a little bit more of an encouraging tone, but still make it professional or a little bit more concise. And I'm just feeding it something I typed up. But side note, just as something that I was a little kind of scary that I'm like, I don't know about this. Just today, I was asking it to write something up for me on a project that I had done some ChatGPT probably 3 weeks ago. And there was a term in there, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I had specifically told ChatGPT, like, no, it's this way. Don't say it like you did, because this is how it's said. And today it did it the right way.
Oh,
like it
nice.
remembered all the crap that I've been doing.
Well, I heard that's really what they're trying to get, because they're trying to get an AI that knows you, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to get a digital assistant that knows you, and it can't know you if it forgets everything after 2 conversations, right?
No.
So they're trying, but what I've heard is that is just a technical limitation that they know how to like get past. Like, it's not like they have to come up with some crazy thing.
They can do the thing.
It's more like they just have to figure it out and get the right stuff in and how they compress it and all that stuff, so that it just remembers every conversation you've ever had with it.
Is this wait? We got to use the slideshow deck.
Yeah,
slide deck. Okay, so OpenAI code interpreter, right?
Yes.
Let's get some insights on what we're about to do here.
This literally came out last week. It went from alpha, which was very closed alpha, where just certain people had access to it, to now anyone with what is their premier $20 a month service? Just
ChatGPT
Plus. Okay, there we go.
Everything's plus.
Everything's a
plus.
I should have guessed. So ChatGPT Plus members have access to this beta that you just turn on inside of there. We'll show you all of that because we haven't turned it on yet. And what Code Interpreter is, it's a new way to what Chat was doing before was that it was doing a lot of like, here you put in text and I'm going to give you text back. But what this does is this takes in text and uploaded certain file types and creates code and a program to then build something for you on your request, as opposed to giving you just language back.
On the fly.
On the fly. Now, I've also heard that it can take a few, it takes 45 seconds to build this thing out and do things like that, right? So it might not just be the instant that it is when you typically use ChatGPT, but we'll see.
So what we're gonna do? I haven't turned it on in my ChatGPT, so I'm actually kind of stoked. You know what's funny about this is that ever since ChatGPT came out, I hear all these other crazy apps and things that people are doing out there, and like I'm just in the basic interface. Except the other day, not to defer too much about OpenAI's code interpreter, but I was just like, oh, here's this cool app on Android called like it was a OpenAI note taker. And so what you would do is you would open it up and you would put in like, oh, I wanted to learn a little bit more about this. And then it writes up a little description and it puts it like it's a note that you were taking.
Oh, okay.
So like if you're in a meeting and somebody says something, yeah, you need to go research how to do this thing. You might be like, hey, how do you do this thing? And then it goes into your notes and then you have all these little notepads. And so people are like, I don't have to take the full notes now. I just throw a couple insights from the meeting and then it builds out
nice
what I need to do.
Because I know Google did a whole note thing today. I think it was even today or yesterday.
Really?
That was. I was telling you this pre-show.
Oh, yeah.
And like I don't know exactly how it works. I think it's more like you put notes in there and then it goes, hey, here are action items that come out of those notes. Here's a summary, like, and it sort of files it away and puts it in a date. You know, it's like they've incorporated into a notes app, which that makes total sense.
So I think there's a lot of implication. Oh, you know, funny thing about that app, just side note, $20 for plus, and then it's like $20 a month for that. I'm like,
man.
I don't know if they're using ChatGPT's API and then that's what they're charging for, or if that, but it was really expensive to use it.
Oof.
All right, so Dawn of a New Era, the code interpreter, we just talked about. This was a little bit about it from Medium. We don't have the whole thing, but it's this whole article. We can't show the. Okay, 5 or 100 megabytes in size.
And some people, so this one isn't it. I sent one around to my work, basically. Like there are some people who are writing articles and maybe they're just doing it for the SEO and they're just doing it for the clicks of having a dramatic title. But like, it is one of those ones where I have not seen as many like, oh my God, this changes a ton of stuff about being able to, and we are only at the very beginning of this. Like there's been a ton of things. So we're going to do two things with it. We're going to do some visual things and we're going to do some data things.
I really hope this works and I hope you know how this thing is going to be.
I don't have any idea how it works.
Well, and this is interesting because I know Mike Azul in the chat, he does a lot with data and like understanding integrations and things like this.
I would be very interested to see like what he thinks about such things.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do is, okay, this is us just turning on, this is the first time I've done it. So this is literally doing it live. So we're going into the plugin store. What the heck is it called? Is it supposed to be loading the plugins?
I don't know.
It's supposed to be doing something? All right. It's we are in chat.
No. Data interpreter.
All right. Data. Is it supposed to be doing?
I don't know.
That thing?
Popular? Do we have to click around? Yeah, it feels like it hasn't like loaded.
Feels like something's going on. All right. Let's just refresh.
You know?
See, this is the challenge of doing it live.
I know, right? It's like we should have. This is gonna just give you that.
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
Data. Is it data sheet?
No.
Okay. What are we calling it? Should I put data?
Data.
Chat with your data.
No. Popular? Try going to popular.
Is it in here? Does it tell us in this area?
It's code interpreter.
There it is. Oh, just put in code interpreter.
I keep getting it wrong.
Interpreter. Ryan.
I know, what the heck. All right, well, you're gonna have to Google it now. Like, how do I get
There's 86 of them.
Are you and you're definitely
Pages.
logged in?
100%.
Okay.
I'm in my count.
You're gonna have to Google it.
All right. How do you turn on code interpreter?
Exactly.
So
luckily we have.
We're not gonna get to see how the sausage is cooked. So Ryan's gonna vamp on this code interpreter right now. No. So what we'll do is let me see how we can get this guy installed. So those plugins, like that was the first time I got into that store at being able to do that. And there's like a crap load of stuff that I'm gonna want to turn on with that. Here it goes.
Well, because one of the plugins. There was another plugin like ChatGPT wasn't ChatGPT 4 like a plugin at some point, and then it became the actual just default or one that you could choose from there.
Okay. I think I may have found it out because like you may not even have to do it from from the store itself. So I can't
okay.
have you see this. So you don't know what's
you're
going
fine.
on in
Beta
here.
features. Turn.
Aha!
There we go.
Aha!
There it is.
All right, I'm gonna show you all. Damn it!
No, don't. Just turn it on.
I'm turning it on.
You go into a setting, but we don't want to see Adam's.
You want to see my chat?
The sausage.
Okay, so how do I turn the damn thing on then? How do you use it, Ryan? I thought you were using it at your work.
No, I haven't used it yet. I've only watched videos of people using it.
So I turn the thing on. Let's see if we can find it in here then.
No, I bet it just works now.
So how are we gonna upload it then?
I think.
It's over here. It's telling us how to do it.
Okay.
So after moving it, B-Bomb is gonna tell us how to do this.
Great.
So we went to the settings. Good. This is what you can see. Went to the settings. You went to your little thing, and you turned on your beta features of Code Interpreter.
Okay.
So how you use it is you're gonna go to the GP4 model. Oh, how easy is this? You go here in Code Interpreter.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yay.
So now you saw how we turned it on. So there. Oh, here's the little plus sign.
Yeah. So you can't see it. You maybe take down our lower thirds.
You don't need that.
We don't need that anyway. Okay, so there's sort of two ways, right? Like this is where you would go and upload, say, an Excel spreadsheet, right, of a whole bunch of data, or we could also do. Let's do the images first. So what this will do is it can help you like build GIFs. Ooh, wait. I have a GIF.
Heck yeah, show us.
So, this was people just playing with it. So I don't even know if
you can
that works
upload
anymore.
an image to this? You never said anything about uploading an image.
Totally.
To it.
And then we're gonna make a panoramic video out of an image.
Right, get this GIF.
Where is it? Where's the major topics? Here we go. Okay.
Nobody can see what you're doing though.
Good.
So what Ryan's doing behind the scenes right now is getting some GIF from. I don't see no GIF, dude.
Okay, here it is.
Oh, you just want it to make.
I just need it to.
It's gonna.
It's gonna make this for us.
It's gonna make a GIF.
Okay.
Okay, you explain us.
So this was somebody just had a Twitter thread and they were like, "Hey, I had to make this." I don't know if this is from the alpha or whatever. I say GIF. Who was that?
GIF.
I say GIF.
I say GIF too.
I say GIF. It's graphics format.
Yeah, so you have to go with the. All right, that's a good point.
Make a 512 by 512 GIF and with falling green matrix letters. Assume no fonts. 30 frames per second. No talk. Just go.
Okay.
So what it's supposed to be doing is like
the Matrix movie.
Here's the steps I'm going to follow.
Oh, shoot. This is crazy.
And then so I like how it tells you. It's like, here's how I'm going to, it doesn't just say working and then give you the thing, right? Yeah, that's true. But you know what? I don't like, he's wrong.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Holy crap. This is the show the work. So this is what it's doing
this
right
is what
now.
It's creating. I've created a Matrix style falling GIF at your request. You could download it from the link below.
All right. Okay, we're going to save this guy to the desktop and let's see how this comes out.
Yeah.
Man, this is crazy. So what do we got to open up? Probably a browser.
Probably, yeah.
Let's do it with Firefox.
Oh, wait. No, that doesn't.
That's perfect.
No,
exactly
it's
like
going
I
the wrong
remembered
way. It's going sideways. Have it try again. No, like write something else in there.
But wait, let's first just acknowledge the fact that this thing didn't exist until this AI created, because it was supposed to be kind of like back and forth and like dropping like a waterfall.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. It could be way worse. But
well, here's the cool thing. So you grabbed some concept on what it should be. I've created a matrix style falling letter GIF per your request. You can download it before. So what can we say? Can we say like you failed?
Well, be like, redo the gift, but I want the letters falling vertically.
Yeah, so help us,
not
chat.
horizontally.
We're clawing at this here. Come on now.
Yeah.
We need some help.
It
like,
looked
how
much better in the Twitter thread that I saw.
Because the Twitter thread probably was like after a 50th attempt.
Oh.
I started with this one.
Yeah, maybe that's
Or was
true.
it the, like you said, Twitter threads? like that was putting both those.
Oh, that's true. Well, it's called a Twitter thread, right? Like
Fair
when you
enough,
have
fair enough.
multiple
Okay,
tweets all in a row.
redrew the griff. They're griffing us. All right, redo the GIF.
But we need the
have
letters,
have the letters
the characters.
Fill the screen like
moving vertically
and
right?
and falling. It's going down, falling like
because it was going sideways, wasn't it? Or was it just flickering?
It was just flickering thing.
Okay.
Redo the GIF,
Matrix.
but have the characters fill the screen and falling like the waterfall while, changing colors or something. Changing colors.
No, like fading in and out in transparency.
Okay.
Like the rain, more like the rain than waterfall.
Okay.
Like.
But waterfall, it definitely is a waterfall. Or
is it just rain? What's the difference? You're keeping it.
I'm going with it.
All right.
This is my thing. Is it going to be like, I'm sorry?
No.
It says create a falling effect by moving the characters down the y-axis over the course of 30 frames.
Great.
The characters move, decrease their transparency, creating a fading out effect.
Neat.
All right, let's see if this works. This is amazing to me, Ryan. I'm gonna use this so hard. Oh my god!
But like, what it can't do is you can't just be like, make me a GIF of a funny person getting hit in the nuts with a ball. Like, it's gonna do ASCII.
But
stuff.
I don't want to do like creepy things. I want to do cool like work kind of stuff.
Oh no, I meant, but like, it's not gonna do images of things, right? It's not gonna create a matrix fading.
I
called it. It filled up the screen.
Getting better.
It didn't fade out. Like what?
Well, there's like a line in it.
Or something.
Like the rain.
Yeah. I feel like, look at this. Doesn't that look more like rain?
Yeah, if you look at it really far
if I squint,
out and
if I squint,
it almost does look like the Matrix. This is fun. All right, so let's try this. Let's just try something new.
Yeah.
Like, what could we make as a GIF that would be different like that? That would be interesting. Like, can you ask it? Why wouldn't it be able to do like somebody getting kicked in the nuts? Like,
no,
what does it say?
I don't think I don't have any idea.
Create a. Give us some help here.
Like
Gosh.
cause like, does it need to be sort of ASCII art? Right? Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so does it need to be that so that like, can you create an ASCII cat GIF of a cat?
Let's just say it like that. Create a cute cat GIF. I want to see what it does.
Here, and just like what it says.
Just see if it can even do that. So so let's do let's
okay.
there we go. They're gonna do it with
cat
already.
It's like it knew.
Cat riding a rainbow. I bet you could do multiple colors. So what is it writing in Python? Is that what that language is?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's Python.
Okay.
Oh, look at the cat. Oh,
Nice.
I give it a little sneak peek.
We get a sneak peek of whatever it's doing.
All right. So I wonder what it's gonna do. This is fun.
Now make like a lurid one.
Oh wait, is it just a great?
That didn't work as well as I had seen in the
That was terrible.
It's like that was a terrible blank white.
All right, Talon, you have a good night, man.
Thanks for hanging out.
And thanks for showing that video. We're gonna totally try that out.
I'm excited to do something with that.
It was terrible. Because it was white on white. It was a white cat in snow.
I don't think it's gonna understand that, but it was just a white square.
Make the cat
blue and the background gray.
And yeah, okay. Background gray. He's riding a rainbow.
Okay.
Oh man, am I spelling that right?
Yeah. Okay, so let Mike look at the code of the last one as this one's going.
Can we? Oh, does it? Yeah, we can
just
go
to see.
See, That's what I love that we got some people that know all this
Totally.
stuff. So it initial opacity, character length. So there's got to be something that just like
Image draw.
fill. So it filled. It's likely one of these things where there was some an opacity, like the opacity was 0 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it was racist.
That's why it was white on white.
All right. Do we have their next one? All right, we'll see. Hopefully you got to see that code enough. That helps. A Rainbow Cat. All right, I'm really hoping that Rainbow Cat works here. It's taking a minute to download this. Uh-oh, Ryan, I'm not too it's not doing a good job.
I was gonna.
Even our cats are, unless it's just like the GIF is. Oh, maybe it's like taking forever to start
to load.
I don't know. It took forever to download. How big are these files?
I heard that the GIF files are big.
Let me just see. It's not
No,
huge.
no.
1.66K.
Yeah, it's tiny.
All right. Regroup. What are we starting on that? So it seems like if you do it got the cat.
Yeah, like it figured
in
out
the
cat.
code.
Can we just ask it for an ASCII cat? Like, can it just do an image?
All right. Let's do this. Show me what your face looks like. In ASCII, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job.
Way to do the lowest amount of work you could. Oh, nice. Phasmophobia boo.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the show. We are doing some fun with this new plugin. And I'm burning things because isn't this where I have 25?
I know, that's true. You only have that's true. We only have 25 every 3 hours.
So chat, we need to get something. Make a dragon.
Yeah,
Okay.
ASCII, do ASCII dragon.
So we want to have it like a certain parameter. So Mike, you said you kind of know some of this. How would we tell it to do it in ASCII in a certain size? So do we say it like? How we doing it?
Nice. Good.
All right, so what I want to do is build it out to where it's like rows and columns, because we just asked it to do its face and it gave us basically what 2 by 3,
like 3 characters.
So like
no, that's just 3 characters, right? The like up arrow and then the underscore and then the up arrow.
It's 3 characters. Yeah, you're sorry. It's 1 row, 3 characters. You're right. I'm gonna grab from chat.
Disturbed in the chat had one.
And we're gonna say make using Python. Maybe we can say using.
It feels like it's gonna do that anyway.
No, because that's not Python.
Oh, that's true. Because I wonder, because it doesn't need, unless it's animated, right? It doesn't need it. It can just show you it in the code. If you just want an ASCII thing, right?
I'm gonna say it could, but I want it colors.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to see how many rows in a, let's say like.
Oh, I see. Because you're trying to make it so it's big.
Yeah.
Right, as opposed to one little character.
I'm gonna say 200. Use 512. So maybe like 512 rows by 512
columns.
And then we'll just do this. A Western dragon that had red scales and bat wings. Okay, let's see if this goes. This is just playing with it. This is the fun part of this, is seeing the colors involved. It's gonna be really hard, but let's do it anyway. We're going for it. Let's see if it's going there. Yeah. Oh, sweet! We're gonna watch it in real time.
Draw. We're gonna watch it draw this in real time.
Oh man, that doesn't look like a dragon.
It does not. You're like, which way?
So, it's making a PNG of it? Oh.
Download the image.
All right, we'll see what this does. Is this gonna...
It's gonna blow my socks off?
See, we're not... Oh, whoa.
I mean, it did something.
It basically took what it did in the beginning and it made it a couple. I'm trying to like see. It's like a Western dragon. Said it was hard.
You're like, it did say it was going to be hard.
It's like it was like we'll try, and it's like blah, just throw a bunch of crap
It's
on
like,
here.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Do you want to try? Do you want to try doing the animated video?
Sure.
With the thing. Okay, so what you can also do is upload an image. So what I had seen is some people were uploading like a panoramic image, which you can make in Midjourney now, which we should do, and then tell it like upload this image and then make me a video that pans from left to right across this
All right,
image.
I think that's great. So right before the show, we were messing with this to make sure Midjourney had it. So of course we got Midjourney in here too, and we put the Hangout.
Nice.
So that's what we're doing. So all right, chat, we need your help.
Which one of these is the Hangout?
Which of the four? We got number 1 in the upper left quadrant, number 2 in the upper right quadrant, which we actually really like, and then the lower left and the
you're seating. This isn't a
to
true. You're like because I want him to pick number 2.
What do we say? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I like where it feels like it's trying to say the Hangout at the top. So here it says
it does.
Tat hunk.
The hunked. We got to use audio palm to translate for us.
Wow, there's gonna be some like crazy art piece that does all of that stuff.
We got every single number. Okay, this is helping us. Okay,
Perfect.
we got 2.
No 1.
2 or
no
4.
No 1.
And somebody likes 3. So this one, the only challenge with 3 is it looks like there's walls in a room. I guess that wouldn't matter because you could go left to right on it.
I do 2 because I feel like that's the easiest one to like then blow out bigger.
Okay, 2 was the first one that was responded, so we will do 2. So we're upscaling 2. So what Midjourney does, as you've seen, is you put that in there and you get some
Man, it's so much faster
image.
now.
It's so fast.
So fast.
But now here are these new buttons where you can zoom out or add things to the left and to the right.
Yeah.
Can you only go one direction? Which direction are we going to go? Left or right now? That's the question. So let's just take a look at this.
I think left is probably more interesting.
Yeah, because like
and then the moon would be off to the right.
Okay.
Like as opposed to the moon.
So this button, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna add more to the left.
Yes. I don't know. I haven't done this before.
This is sweet. I love this. This is like one of those things that I always was wanting in this. We were doing with Dolly with the infill.
Yeah, but it was
I have
shitty.
seen people start with like something really what the is it? Oh, it's doing it. Okay. It's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna give you multiple versions of it.
Man, even neat.
Wow.
And you can write in stuff and be like,
but is it
go to the left, but also add the like a cave system.
But is it just giving? Oh, it's not zooming out. It's just cutting left. It's gonna cut on the right and just get more on the left.
Okay.
It's not making a panoramic.
But like you would then layer it on top of that panoramic, right?
Yeah, you would maybe have to Photoshop it or something. But like, look at this. So we're almost done. Man, it looked really like scary and macabre on some of those. Oh no, it did it. It did the thing.
Okay, nice. It just like added it back in real quick at the end.
Oh man, looks like 2 again.
Oh yeah,
for the win.
I like 2.
Oh, actually, this one. Because look at the foreground.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's more like interesting, right? Because, okay, so now if we use 4, then we tell it, keep going left, but make it a pub or something like that. A treehouse pub.
You can't say that, though.
Yeah. Like, that's what they were adding stuff
because
to it.
We got to grab the image start. All right, so it upped. Okay, now we can keep going left to right. Do you want to keep going to the left?
Yeah, but I thought they were adding stuff to it.
Yeah, so what we should be able to do is this. We got to go to the image.
Because they were being like, oh, now like add a horse over here.
Okay, we should be able to copy the link. And so now if I say image prompt, and then you put in that, and you say what?
Yeah, but it's not going to know to go left at that point, right? It's just doing a whole new thing. Isn't it just taking this one and adding?
You're right. How would they do that? How would you add more?
Okay, custom zoom?
Okay.
I don't know, maybe.
Let's see what that does. We'll try it. Form will be submitted. Oh, Zoom out with custom AR or zoom. No, this doesn't.
No. I mean, you could Google it real quick. I bet there would be.
Wait, this form will be submitted to Midjourney bot. Do not share passwords or other sensitive things.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what that's trying to say. Zoom out? Because this is what we used before. Let's just try to let's see what it does, because it's we'll figure this out later as to how to like add stuff to it. But it's in the spirit of what we're trying to do is we need a panoramic image, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And so
we'll just let it do its
we
thing.
are gonna keep going.
It's been doing good, you know.
And if it's gonna give us a couple versions of this is amazing. I love this image. I gotta say,
yeah, me too. I want this as a giant poster on my freaking wall.
Yeah, we're gonna totally do that. So what I'm seeing it's doing, it's
I want this printed out on your 3D printer in some kind of wacky
in
vinyl
some amazing.
thing.
It will do it in that new thing.
Totally. Oh, see, it is. It's like it's like doing another swoop around and up into more apartments. Oh, I think I like maybe 3.
3 is starting to look good. Just because that foreground is amazing. But, 1, it does have a kind of a thing because there's that ladder that goes up.
Because it keeps going.
Let's just take a quick peek into it. Oh, yeah. This one looks like you got your pub, Ryan. I wonder how many times you can keep zooming. Did they just keep
infinite?
doing
it just until you have like your entire background for your video game that it scrolls past.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just like running it again. So... Man, that is so sick.
Those
Holy
are
shit.
All 4 of those are freaking amazing.
Oh man. I'm almost like I'm kind of vibing on this one.
Cuz like the weird like tendrils hanging down and stuff. Yeah, Disturb says 1 too.
Yeah, see.
What else though? Let me see.
We could always
feel
come
like
back.
all of
There's
those
this
are
like ladder
amazing.
on this one.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. It's almost like it's going up into your like suite. Or something.
Look at this like under area right here.
Yeah, that one's cool though too. I don't think it goes with this water area though.
Yeah, it
doesn't
doesn't
much.
And so you can go up or down, but I think we're at a point where you can only go left or right when you make a decision to go that direction.
Yeah.
So if we had to pick out of these ones, like I agree.
Think 1, like.
Well, this could be like the sewage area where it's not as cool, but yeah, I agree.
No, that's
cut
true.
that one out.
That's true.
Maybe the bottom 2 could be for later. I like the foreground on these.
I think
2.
I like 1 or 3.
1 or 3.
2. Yeah, they're all really good, man.
You said pub.
I did say pub.
This reminds me.
that's
of
true.
A pub.
That's
and
true.
Disturb says 1.
And
we got
Disturb
to
says
give
1,
it to Disturb.
That's it.
So we are
maybe like 3 or 4 more, right? I feel like as long as you get it.
We are continuing on our journey.
Yeah. It's man, like imagine being able to add things, right? Like we got to figure out not tonight, but like I feel like if you figured that out, like you could make an amazing whole stretchy background across an entire thing.
And it seems like, and I don't know how this AI works, but it seems pretty much like it's not doing much else other than just saying, okay, keep this. They already love that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything. Just keep going this direction.
Just keep going that direction. So it could be totally weird by the time it gets to the end. Like even the coloring has sort of changed. You can tell.
Yeah.
Like it had like more maybe vibrant colors in the first one, and now it's kind of like doubling down on the sort of greens and yellow glow.
Yeah, I like how they're just. It's dark to light, but it is, the moon's here, so if your lighting source is behind, that starts to make a lot more sense.
Yeah,
of how this hits.
You're right.
I like how it's like a night
it's
scene.
It's like a pool table. It's like see the lounge at the 3rd.
Oh, this is
this is the Ryan and Adam lounge.
This would be a new backdrop.
I love that.
It does take a minute.
It does. These ones are slower.
I'm trying to think why would it go any slower though.
Yeah, nice.
People on the deck? Oh yeah. Oh man. Okay. Oh, there is a lounge.
Yeah, there's a whole section.
Look at the bridge on this one.
Yeah, I think I like the bridge one.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna do this. I wanna open the link in the browser so we can zoom in a little bit.
Like even the right one where the stairs go up at the back and it's like the tables and everything. Of course, I feel like 1 is real good. I like the difference.
Cause look at there's like a cool like bridge over here.
Yeah, a bridge and like a lagoon.
Cause it's because you like the depth that you can see through that.
Yeah.
I kind of like
more
it,
interesting.
but the couch just doesn't fit. with
Yeah,
the vibe.
the couch is like too modern or something.
This one's cool. There's some chairs on there. So look, it's like a little. It is totally like a little pub.
It's a little pub.
All right, 1 or 2 more times.
Yeah, twice more for sure, and definitely one.
And there's some people down here hanging out.
Porno couch in the middle of nowhere. It's like a swingers couch.
Hell yeah! All right, we going. What? So we see 4.
We gotta do. I gotta have one.
You gotta have one.
I gotta have one.
Ryan's pulling rank.
I'm pulling rank.
All right, we're going for a 1. And why is it? To give us some reasoning on the 1.
It's just that depth, and I feel like having a cool now lagoon, it's gonna like play off of that more now that it has that to work with.
Okay, I see what you're going for. Okay, here you go. That bridge does look pretty sick right there.
Looks sweet.
All right, we're
All
going.
that hanging stuff, man.
Let's just keep it going.
So cool, man. Every illustrator is like, gotta be nervous.
But see, this is the thing: is they steal? This is stolen. Is it from?
It's all-
you know what I did here as this one goes is that I guess there's a problem now with AI because it keeps using itself, and so the imagery is starting to get a little wonky.
I heard that
so
also
many
with
people
chat.
filled it.
So people were talking about ChatGPT, and
Yeah.
they were saying like, if you have a data set that has people writing words in it that is pre ChatGPT, that is going to be a really valuable data set at some point because it's not corrupted by all these freaking chatbots like all this internet scrape data will be now. It'll be like worthwhile because it'll be like you knew that every single answer that got written into that thing pre whatever 2020 or something was like most. I mean, there were bots for sure, of course, but like if you can be like, hey, people really wrote this, people are gonna be like, I'll need that data because they were saying that it like dilutes it every time. And I can't remember what it was called. It was something that like for 6 more years. Interesting.
How did they like strike a deal on that? Or
Yeah, I
is
wonder.
All right.
Let's see. I feel like one more is probably the best we're gonna get here.
The sweet spot, yeah, because we've gotten into
Because
like
it's like we're starting to get. I feel like it's not getting as interesting. Maybe 4. I feel like they're all pretty similar.
yeah,
Maybe
actually
3?
we've hit the.
Yeah, I think maybe one more.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's pick one, and then I have an idea.
Okay. If we wanted to keep
I mean, not
being a
number
bar,
1, but I'm just saying one.
pick a of these.
Yeah.
I think 2 or 3. Seems like.
Yeah, because it kind of got dark. I'm looking at all the lights. There's a lot of congestion of lights
Yeah.
here. I'm trying to look at the bridge down in the distance. Like, it's a little dark in these areas. Some. You were saying 2 or 3?
Yeah. I was just thinking because like 4 looks like sort of a jumble of tables and
I like
stuff.
this big light right here.
There's-
Oh, you think so?
It just sort of looked like it didn't know what it was doing. It almost looks like tables on top of tables.
All right. Fine. We're doing 3.
Okay.
So here's my thought. Uh-oh. Somebody said the staircase in 2 is cool. They're in all of them, though, right?
Oh no, he's right. Like, see, this one has a staircase going up.
Ah, shit.
I didn't even notice that. Ah, well.
Far left. Yeah. Right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. That
So
would've
here's
been
the
cool.
thing.
It was
Look
getting
at,
dark.
we
though.
could go right.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yes, 100%. That's right. Because we got this. We got this. Like
we got left.
We got left. It's the pub.
Yep.
Right.
You got your pub.
No, 100%. You're right.
We got it to its logical end here. By the
Yeah.
time we keep going, it's gonna be in the future. It's gonna be some other weird bionicle. It's like fun in the forest treehouse to like starting to get more macabre and like
Yeah. Well, it's like a
scary
seedy
and
little bar in this like very cool treehouse world.
Yeah, I feel like we could go. We'll see what right goes. If they start going this direction, which I'm feeling like they are.
Yeah, I don't think it should be right. I don't think the treehouse should be right in the middle. I don't like that anyway. So maybe this one we only do 1 or 2.
That's fine. Because how much did it add? It was a square. It cut off like right here, right? So we did like what 4 times? I guess we can count it. So there's the original.
Yeah.
just so you could see. Lots of swings and
Yeah,
I
like
didn't even realize how
yeah, like what
intricate
that
was.
even was. They're like little parachutes on strings.
It looks very dangerous.
Yeah.
So we go over 1 time, 2 time, 3 times, 4 times. So we have 4 left, and now 1 right. God, it's getting so long. It's so big. Yeah, it's doing the same thing. Okay, I gotta open it.
Neat though, but now it's like greens.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay. So it's like some other. Oh, there's another tree house over here.
Yeah.
This one.
No, I don't like that one. That one's like bulges. No, 1 for sure.
You think 1? What about 2?
That one's sort of. I feel like
blurry?
I'm confused about what's even happening in 2.
Yeah. What's the brightest of the 4? Like that one?
Because that one's so different, right? Because it's gonna end it right here. And so then it's going to like, see, that's the end of the tree, as opposed to just filling up with a bunch of mushy.
One last time.
Mountain apartments.
And so you're saying number 1.
1.
Okay. 1 it is.
Sorry, I feel like I keep making.
He got the visual eye.
making creative director decisions.
MFA here,
Oh,
so
that's right.
it's like you got to do the thing. Okay, so we're doing 1 more time. We're going to the right, and then we're gonna go, and hopefully this thing's not gonna be too big, and we can't upload it because we created this huge.
Oh, I guess 150 megabytes or something, wasn't it? Was the
100
maximum?
megabytes?
100 megabytes was.
Which this could very well be 100 megabytes.
Nah.
I guess it depends on the resolution as we're going.
It's always crappy, right? Coming out of these, it's not like it's 300.
So what's the story
DPI.
behind this little village? We
I
gotta
know.
make it up.
Well,
It's
this is our dream. Like it reminds me of like an Ewok village or something.
I was gonna
at some
say,
point. Like or
like a resort for hobbits, and
I love that. It's like the 1% for hobbits. 1%.
resort. It's their little bougie area where they can go and.
Oh man, where they like smoking their pipes and drinking whatever.
Oh my goodness, this is great. That's Gandalf over there.
Totally. He's like,
showing
this is
up,
where I actually want to hang out, man.
smoking that pipe. That's not clouds. That's
That's it. It's clouds, all right, but now how you're thinking.
yeah, third breakfast. Oh, third breakfast club. Perfect.
Ooh.
That is a great name.
Oh, I feel like these are looking good. Look at 3. It's like a brand. It's like the tree is the hub.
Yeah, I like
between
it.
that and another thing.
There's another something over here on 4.
Yeah. I'm glad we like tried to like cut it off so it had to figure out something else.
Oh, it's good. I mean, it's funny how it just gets so small now. We have to like zoom in to just even see the damn thing. Okay.
I feel like it's also getting blurrier maybe because it's like
probably. But it is also we're zooming in. This is the 4 up.
Yeah,
and so it's
true.
Give me a little bit.
Okay.
But let's just get the man, I'm thinking either 4 looks cool because it's like connecting.
And it's like layers down below.
I think that's gonna be it. 4 we get 4 and that's our guy. Third breakfast club.
Okay.
For the win. I'm pulling 4. That's my contribution to this. Yeah. I really hope this is gonna work.
Who knows.
So what we're gonna say is what? To do a panoramic, is this it? This is the guy.
Yep.
We got it.
We gotta put this in. We're gonna if you want this image, come to Double Dropdown's Discord. And we will put this image in the Discord.
Yes, we will.
For your panoramic monitor background.
Yeah, you have to have a couple monitors. Oh, you just got me. Man, I forgot. Like, that's the hardest thing is find sweet panoramics. I'm going to do that. All right, I'm calling this file Third Breakfast Club.
What is that? Maybe I don't understand that reference.
Oh, my God. You should be.
Okay, yeah. Because it's like second breakfast, right?
Yeah.
And that's all hobbits, but then...
This is 1%, man. 1%ers, they get third.
Yeah, I'm with you now.
He's the king of the zings.
Yeah.
All right, we're back to... Okay.
Now, when I saw this happen, people were putting in like, keep it 16 by 9 and go from this second to this second.
You're telling this now, Ryan?
Yeah. So maybe I was hoping we could just do it with some natural language, but it might not work.
Oh, God.
So like create a video.
A short, or I'll just say video.
A 3-second video? Do you want to, or like 5-second video at 30 frames per second?
should I say FPS? Yeah.
Yeah. That pans from left to right across this image.
To right, show in maybe like, not zoomed in, but like in a dynamic way across this image or something like that.
Yeah,
or...
I don't know how. I don't like. We might just try it just simple at first, but
Okay.
because I don't even know if this is gonna work.
All right, we're rolling the dice on this guy
Rolling the
and
dice.
see. Third Breakfast Club PNG. All right.
Load the image, create the frames, capture different portions of the image, move the image from left to right, compile the frames at 30 frames per second.
In the panning effect, okay. The image is not wide enough. I will extend it by duplicating the image side by side.
Interesting.
So, because that's what I was trying to go for is like, can you like zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know.
It says, it appears there was an issue with the code execution. Let me retry creating your video for you.
Nice.
Thank you. Thanks for the insights. You have run out of credits.
I heard some person was going through and using this, and they, at some point, it must have deleted their file. They were trying to do a dramatic zoom in of an image, for...
Uh-oh. It's in a... I'm going to stop generating. Hold on. I'm going to rewrite it because it failed.
It just
3
keeps
times.
failing.
All right, we're going to try it one more
Well,
time.
they were saying, so this person was saying, oh, they were going back and forth and being like, hey, can you do this to the image? Can you do this to the image? And at one point it went, I don't have your image anymore. It got deleted. Can you re-upload the image for me? And it went, okay. And then it was like, great. Okay, now I can build it. It was funny. It was like it deleted it itself or something, or couldn't find it. It's weird.
I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
I really talk to it kind of like it's a thing.
Yeah, me too. I say please and thank you sometimes. Like, I will...
I usually say, like, God, what were you thinking? That's terrible.
Oh,
Get back to this.
Oh, man, you're like the mean...
No,
you're,
I'm not
you're
mean.
Like
I'm never
like,
mean. I'm just like, what are you doing here? Come on. I'm like, you could do better. And she's like, I'm sorry,
I'm disappointed. It's not... I'm not mad, ChatGPT.
Not mad.
Just disappointed.
Very disappointed in you.
No.
So I think we're in.
Let's try it. Let's see it one more time.
I'm thinking
It's
that
not- it's
it
not gonna be
doesn't
able to
like
do
it because
look at the code. Like,
Sure.
do the show work.
it's using numpty.
See, that's right.
Save the human race. Yeah.
Too
Wait, I
bad.
forgot to import the image module from the PILer. Let me
Nice.
fix this and run the code again.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's almost like it's forgetting or doing things, and then it looks at its own self and goes, "Okay, wait, here's the thing that's wrong."
I love that. I
Yeah.
forgot to import the image module.
Isn't that great?
Oh my god.
Damn it!
Wait, with the file path
to the image.
It's doing a bunch of different things. It's like screwing up. But I love how it's like, I'm sorry. Come on, give me a chance.
Like, is it just making all that up, or is it actually like? I wonder if you went into that show work, if it actually didn't import the image module from the thing.
Here's your thing. Could you please upload the image again?
Nice.
Wait, what do I do?
Just go to plus.
Third Breakfast Club. Just push.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
See, like, this is where it starts being like an actual assistant, right? That is like doing a thing and then being like, oh, I have a question. This isn't working.
And if it messes up again, we can be like, you are on live stream
you're
now.
on live stream right now.
There might be an issue with the file upload or the file name. Let's confirm the correct image path and try again. I
Yeah,
mean, even
does it-
this is entertaining in and of itself. The fact that
that it keeps screwing up and then trying to cover its own tracks.
Yeah.
File reading mechanism.
Possibly due to a problem with assistance file.
Ensuring that the file is not corrupt and is in standard format like PNG. If the problem persists, there may be a technical issue. Interesting.
If the problems persist,
What is it in?
It's PNG.
PNG. Does it not
Wait,
like?
Hold on. Let's
take out all of the
dashes.
Yeah.
Third Breakfast Club is Third Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
We'll try it one more time. Maybe we'll just give. Can we just give it again?
Yeah.
There you go, sir.
Oh, it's got to upload it.
This is your last shot.
This is your last shot, and then I do really want to try some of the. Well, we don't have to do the data one if.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Yeah. How many times have we loaded this in there? You have 0 credits. How many times have we done this? I'm like, you're the one that screwed it up, guy.
Yeah, like that doesn't count against my credits.
I tried to use the total frames, which is not defined in the code.
Oh my god, just stop it. If we don't get one, because I do want to see like what this does when we upload actual data to it.
Okay, so we have a data set that we're gonna load in just a second. Maybe we just start a new, probably a new chat, so it's not in this crazy chat. None of this stuff that happened.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like it's doing all these other things. I kind of want to just leave it because it's kind of funny until it just definitively stops us. We're gonna go through this one until it stops because it's usually about 3 times that it screws up.
Huh?
What? Yeah. Okay. Watch it just be a blank box. It's gonna be a box again.
It's gonna be like, sorry, man. I don't know.
The file's gonna play. I'm sorry. I wasn't able to create the video.
I think what might be wrong is the image path file might be wrong. Like,
Hold on a second.
Oh, it sort of zoomed in. Man, it's fast.
It did the thing. Wait, let's scrub it. We never said how. Oh, we said 30 frames a second.
And it like, oh no, well, yeah, it zoomed it in.
That's cool though, because you could slow that down.
Yeah, right. Play it at half speed.
Oh, how do you do that?
Oh, you gotta play it in
speed. Here we go.
Yeah. Quarter speed.
It's a little.
It's like a 90s cartoon pan now with that frame rate.
Oh, what was that? I want to see those chairs. I didn't see that before. We could actually see a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
Oh shoot.
Are people seeing this on the stream? There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. I mean, it did the video.
Totally.
If we tweak it, like I love that we just let it go and it actually kind of recovered.
It actually recovered a little.
Oh man. But if it's getting this close nowadays, oh.
And people tried to put in like, okay, now add text to the middle of it that says this thing, and it like.
So they're gonna create a video. So hold on, I'm gonna load another chat GPT to do this data thing. So
okay, you load that up. I have to use the restroom.
It's typical Ryan. All right, so we're getting back in. We'll wait for Ryan. Yeah, I'll do the data, but I'm going to need you to say how to visualize it. But I'll give you kind of the breakdown so Ryan doesn't have to do this. So what we're about to do now is Ryan has a data file with over 7,000 rows in it right now. And so what the idea here is... oh, man, stupid Windows trying to throw it on a side. This is the data file. Scrubbed of any PII or any other kinds of things, but we essentially have some survey data that just has a couple details about leaders. And so you may have the level of the leader. Are they senior, their middle, their first kind of years? Like, what kind of education do they have? How much experience do they have? And this is across all kind of industries, and then in the departments and industries that they have. So pretty much just this bulk of data that we can hopefully visualize. And the idea here is that when you have large data sets and you want to be able to get some visualizations, how can you start to see trends, patterns, things that you might be able to pull out of that data that normally a data scientist might go in there and start to pull that out. So this is just a raw Excel file that was exported relatively recently, I think back in February 14th nonetheless. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to upload this file right now into this thing and apparently contribute it to all the data collection this thing is probably taking. I wonder what it's going to do with it. But we'll upload the file. Hopefully it's going to take that file. We may have to put it as like an SV, no, not an SVG, but what was I going to say? A CSV. And so now what we want to do is create some sort of a data analysis of it so we can see what it would look like. Now, the question is, it's going to likely do it in Python. So I guess we'll just roll the dice with this and see what kind of visualization of this. So here, so I've already explained the file itself. I just said we have this anonymized file, kind of went through and showed the columns. So there's already some cognition of what we got in there. So we're at the point where the file is uploaded. Everyone sees what that is, the leaders and the different kind of column sets.
So I heard, so just do what is interesting about this data.
Can you say visualize the interesting things about this data?
Just try what, well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I'm done this. All I saw was like, here are prompts that you could do with data to just kind of mess around with it.
Okay, let's see what this, I think that's pretty decent.
Sure.
Right? I'm hoping that file, I was making sure, is this the right file type? Can it pull an XLS?
I assume. Load the data.
All right.
Actually, I search that we can visualize.
Interesting. All right. Uh-oh. It's just going to write this huge list of everything. Okay. So it's so
so it's like what could be interesting is the distribution of leader level, education, department, and industry, the distribution of years of experience, the relationship between leader level and years of experience. You're right, that would be interesting, and the relationship between what was the other one?
Oh man, it's doing cool stuff.
Education and years of experience. So that's the different leader levels.
Oh, so it's wait, it's okay. Let's look at the visual. Can you zoom into this? Is this a graphic? Okay, we can. Hold on a sec. I want to just open in an image in new tab.
Oh, I love how it talks to you about it too. So leader levels. It seems that there are more people at the middle and senior leadership levels compared to chief. Okay. Many
Makes
participants in the data set have a master's degree, followed by bachelor's degree, and then PhD.
All right, Jason.
Nice.
We'll see you.
Totally.
Thanks for
hanging out, man. A large number of participants. Oh, see,
it's like giving you the full-on report.
Totally. Distribution of years of experience.
What are those? I wish there was a little better, like years of experience versus the count. What is this trend line? That's just a trend line, right? So it shows that, like, what it's trying to show is that years of experiences, it gets which you would suspect near the end of it, but it's interesting because there's.
Is it so? This is so well. So this is saying the count is the people, right? So there are 800 people that have between 0 and 2, I guess, years of experience.
Holy crap, dude! Data scientists, watch out!
Seriously, right?
Oh my lord!
Yeah.
Box plots, like it is giving you the full report.
Yeah.
So if you start at the top here, distribution of leader levels. So this just gives you and like visualizes your data to say, hey, yeah, you got a lot of seniors in your data. So what you would I would say in this
senior, so it's like senior level
leaders. So
like are there
middles and then chiefs would make sense because chiefs there wouldn't be that many chiefs out there if they were gonna get and collect.
And that's
data.
like a weird like who's called a chief
and
chief
then
something.
like bachelor versus master.
So lots of people have bachelor and master's degrees
based off this data set. Health, education, other, okay.
Distribute. So when I look at this, I go, we need other. Most people don't fit into these categories. You need to figure out more categories, right? Because
so what you could do is like whoever takes this data, like obviously you have to have like reasons as to why they would look at this and correlate it whatever they're looking at. But look how quickly you took 7,000 plus results,
right?
And we're able to just say, here's a bunch of crazy graphs with it that we're able to say based off of what that looks like. What do you think, chat? Like, my lord, that is amazing. I know it's like kind of maybe boring to look at bar graphs and things, but the concept of being able to take this and visualize it like this
and just be like,
okay,
that
much data
now show me the comparison between people with a master's degree at this leader level and how many years they've been in the industry, right? Because then you'd be like, oh man, it looks like if you want to get to like the chief thing, you have to in the healthcare industry, you're probably like 5 years plus something.
And according to this, it like gives you those last little insights of like, chief leaders tend to have more years of experience.
17 to 18.
And which would
Senior
make
middle
sense.
leaders around 12 to 18.
All right. Is there any like follow-ups we want to do? Like saying like, what is the biggest or what is the most compelling or something like.
Oh yeah. I had some. If you look in the Trello, I had a couple prompts
of what we might consider.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Key
Great
takeaway.
One. Yeah. Just right now. Just ask it what its key takeaway is, and then we'll let it think while we look at these other prompts.
What?
Oh,
it's trying to download something, and I don't know what it is. Okay. What is the key takeaway
from this data?
All this analysis, I'll put.
Cool.
There we go.
No question mark, but
hell no. Duh.
Yeah.
That was pretty easy. There's more middle and senior. Most participants have 5 to 10 years of experience, with fewer individuals having very high level experience.
Okay.
I love it. I love that it just says, all right, here's some things that you might consider. And so
Yeah.
you would take that back. And so here's what I would think, just as a quick aside, as we maybe pull in one more question or two, is that it would give you ways to also start cleaning your data, because we just did raw data dumps.
Yeah.
And so like other was thrown off the data set. So pull out all the other in certain instances and take
Right.
that off, put it off somewhere else. And then you
Yeah.
could start doing analysis, or you could say, talking strictly about people in the health category.
Right.
Tell
yeah.
me whatever that might be.
Totally. And, if you had a bunch of other columns in that data, right? You could ask it even more questions, right? It wouldn't matter. Like we only have 4 columns, in there, 4 or 5, I think. And so if you had a dozen different attributes that you'd be looking at, oh yeah, try that one.
Okay.
I don't know if any of these work.
And nobody can see those, so
That's fine.
here's the last one before we go into the game. We need to get to the game.
Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna get to the game tonight. So the last thing was, can you create a presentation?
Since this environment doesn't allow support a presentation size directly, I'll outline a presentation structure.
And you could go create your own presentation
in PowerPoint or something.
Little fleshy human. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, what do you think? Give us some insights. I mean,
I'm
in the chat, this to me, I have so much data. I want to go start processing on this.
Yeah.
People
are freaking out about it in the sense of like, that
flabbergasted.
seems like really, really useful, because there are tons of probably nonprofits and all this stuff that have a ton of data from volunteers or any of those things. They don't have the money to hire a data scientist and get a whole bunch of cool insights into all of their data. They have it just sits there, where now somebody could just be like, here's a free thing, throw in your data in here and just ask it whatever question you want. And as long as you can trust it.
Yeah. See, I was about to say that, if you're,
can we trust
if
it?
your decision making on this,
yeah, because people are going to.
I would be a little nervous to decision. Even if this is true data, and in my role right now, I'm excited, but I'm almost like,
So I wonder.
I
wonder how it thinks about it in the sense of
how do you validate, right?
Are we training it on only our data, and then it's using all its chat GPT, word predicting the next word for the analysis of it? Because I assume when it says 70% of people are above this, that it's not 69% or 71%, right?
Right.
It's the numbers it knows because it's,
because it just
gotten
did the
this.
thing.
Because it had just uploaded that file and it knows only to use that. That's what I hope is happening.
Does it save these things? Oh, it does. Okay, sweet. I will give you that as a analysis that you can check a little bit later down the line.
Nice.
So I think we have a really cool. That was way more compelling than I thought it would be, and it's just blown my mind. So
See, man, this Medium article and things like that. It talks about it in odd terms of being like, oh my God. Well, this is going to change everything, which feels a little bit like large language models. I gave Adam this quote that Sam Altman said about his own product, which was, it's mind blowing until you start using it a little bit, and then it's less impressive.
Yeah. Well, because it's just.
So it's kind of like this, probably, right?
It is.
Yeah. Box plots. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Those are cool.
You know, the thing is, too, I got to just say this, though, is if you do use ChatGPT, you can't tell people that you're using it because then they're going to like, oh, you didn't come up with that?
Oh, sure.
And so here's the thing. I absolutely do not use that on every single thing. Like, there was a
No.
moment where... And I got to be candid. The other day, I was writing something. I went to ChatGPT and I was like, "This is so stupid. I know exactly what I want to say. Like, I don't need some stupid computer to tell me it."
Right.
So like, I got frustrated with it because I was like, "This is gonna take too long because I got to edit the stupid thing."
Totally.
I know exactly what I say, exactly the way I want to do it. It's when I need it just to kind of prompt me to here's some concepts. Give me some kind of ways that this might. Oh, okay, that's kind of tracked.
Totally.
The
I was
style.
having it write emails or like marketing copy.
Yeah.
And saying like, I need marketing copy for this. Here's what I know about it. Write me some compelling marketing copy. And then it did. And I was like, great.
Yeah. All right. Here's what we're doing. We're jumping in.
Yeah, because we only got an hour.
The instructions. And here's the thing. Ryan and I...
AI board game. We're transitioning.
It is transition time.
For this, we need an AI board game slide to come up.
Yeah. We don't have a thing for it yet. So I know this is a lot of text in front of you, but you know what? We wanted to really show that we did some shit. You know, we took this, we actually are thinking about this, and we really care about this. There is a lot of energy to move this. And you know what? Who cares if you could see this and somebody runs through this? We were giving this damn thing away for free later down the line. So here's what we get. So what we've done, just so you can get an idea, is we wrote out a first stab at all the instructions, and you can see a shit ton of
the
stuff
comments
that we just put in here. And so we figured it would be really cool to go through the instructions and like explain the objective as we just accept most of the editing things and say, yeah, this is where we're headed. And so one of the things that we did is, as we've been doing all the playtesting, we do it all that. Back over there, we have sticky notes of all the things that we wrote. We tried to integrate that into here.
Yeah.
We had all the experiences. So this wasn't just off the cuff making a bunch of stuff
No.
up. This is based off of multiple gameplays.
Yeah. But I feel like we had it mostly floating in our heads, right? Of
And
like
in our
how
heads.
things work,
on the,
right?
on
and
the
everything.
little cards that
and
we have and everything.
Yeah.
So this is the moment where you're getting to see it really come together.
It actually come together.
First instruction set.
And how I sort of did this at the first one was I was trying to do like, here's our card, because here's what happens on your action, right? Like, here's what happens on your turn. But then everything that happens off of your turn is more a question. Like, once I do my turn, what happens when I run into a monster? Or what happens when I need to like move? Or what happens if I collect something? Or what? So I sort of wrote it out like that to begin with.
And I appreciate that. And so what I wanted to just make sure you could see is that we wrote instructions. We have so many.
Are you worried that people think that we are?
No. I just wanted to show the cool development because
that's true.
This was one of the first things we came out with, and it had the instructions.
And ChatGPT like 3.5 that we were using at the time was not as like it wouldn't give us specific instructions. It was more like generic board game stuff.
The idea was this is our North document.
Yeah.
So that's why I
because
wanted
it has
to pull
the
it out.
story. It has like what basically should be happening.
What has to happen on the game. It has all the original things that
monsters
came out.
that you're fighting monsters. That
End game scenario,
like,
amount of players.
Basically, we made up that it is tile based for the most part. Like we did the movement, but it did the whole like gameplay.
So the first thing is 3D print everything, and thanks Ryan for getting some of the initial content put in there. I did you know what I loved about this? I just want to throw this out there is like I outlined it all out, and Ryan's like, screw Adam's shit, and he just like wrote it all out on the top of it, pushed all my crap down.
Pushed all your things down, and then just left them. Because I started with yours, which was how do we start, right? And then what do I do on my turn? And as I started to write what do I do on my turn, I was like, the only way this makes sense is like things happen on your turn, and you need to be like, what happens when that happens?
Got it. All right, so what we're gonna go through is each step. So the first thing, obviously, 3D print.
That was more just me being cheeky.
No, I know. I laughed at it, but for the most part, you're gonna 3D print. If you don't have a 3D printer, there are probably ways you can send it to a 3D printer or create a version.
Or go to, you know how people will go to the library and 3D print something. I always thought that would be a cool way if we just like gave somebody a file and you could be like, just take this to the library and print it.
And then you know what we could do is we'll also make the origami version just in case you want to fold your paper
in
pieces
case
together.
That's your jam.
All right, so the first one definitely 3D printable. So one of the things we did talk about is the game pieces, and should we take the tiles and 3D print those? So that was just a thing that we want to talk about. So.
I wouldn't resolve that because I want to be able to look back on that because we're sort of asking.
You can always go back to this, right?
That's true.
Doesn't have
just
all
need a clean document with no comments for Adam.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. We're getting through this one tonight. Yeah, and so. Ryan had some. He put augment. Look at.
But like the problem is, buff. I guess it's always going to be a positive thing.
Yeah, it's
right.
all a buff.
Okay.
Like character magic or something like that. So let's start with overview. So get the game pieces. Gather the pieces of the escape sled. So that's the idea of the game.
Oh yeah. What are you trying to do within the game?
You're gonna stop magical energy from being released, and you're basically escaping the North Pole. So basic overview.
That came in last. I feel like.
Yeah. So how do you start? Each player picks a character, right? So you got 4 or 6 characters. We're kind of trying to figure out if that's the amount you pick those from the board. I think we're gonna only be able to play with 4 at any given time, though. I think it's a 2 to 4 player game.
Yeah, I think so.
So I was thinking you could have like 6 characters if you wanted to pick weird storylines.
Oh,
or
sure,
something
right?
Like that,
yeah, they didn't have the minimum. I could see that.
So they'll take the pieces to the break room corner. So we talked about that. And actually, do I have the? I feel like I do. Workbench cam. We should talk about that. So the upper right hand corner where it's like green 1. I know you can't see green 1, but then red 8.
Yeah.
That's the upper right-hand corner where you start. You got a sled in there. You still got all your monsters at the top. That's basically all the parts of the game board right there on the screen. And then
no character like sheets basically, but
there's a player actions and there's some of our sticky notes, some of our rules and all the fun stuff on there. So as you start going through this, we are going to so get your pieces, take them to the break room corner.
Okay, so that is one thing that we can talk about. Do we have what we know all 4 corners are going to be?
Oh, that was a thing, and we can get to it when we get down a little bit more because there was a thought with the scenarios of how the corners would work.
Yeah, because that's really all they would be at that point is cool looking things that also have to do with like how you would do in game.
I'm not going to go through all these comments, so to speak, as we go through. Nope. Some of them we may actually keep on there. I'm not going to resolve every single one of them. But what we're let's just go through the rule set, and then we can all the like grammatical errors. I'll just say yay to.
Yeah.
So they place the characters on the board. They're going to choose characters, the buff. So this is the new thing. This is where we did the little 3D printed character with the
tiny shotgun.
So you're going to have this weapons kit and your guy, and I think you could like probably shake it up in your hand and like distribute it or do it random, or you just go and pick your buff in some capacity. That would be really awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking like, so let's say this was your character card.
Yeah.
Right. And it had like who I was, and here's all my hit points and stuff. And then there's just a bunch of tiles, not with that, but like that you would choose from. And here's your buff that you get for your guy. Right. And you pick it off the top, and then you're like, sweet, I got shotgun. And so now like the shotgun is part of this. And now my little guy has a shotgun, which gives him +3 damage on every encounter that he has.
And that little card tells it says
and it says that all on here, right? Or it just says shotgun +3 health, +3 damage.
So now on your little character card, by the way, which we should say a little bit. So on the character card itself, it probably has a cool image of your character, a little bio, and then a little slot where you put your buff in there. And then you're going to have like some tracking so you can get hit points of how much you're getting hit.
Yeah.
And so you want to have this card in front of you as you're
And
looking
I feel like
at
it's a cool thing, right? You want to be like, I'm sort of role playing as this person.
Absolutely. All right, so you put the character on board, choose a buff, get it out of that deck, and then you put it in your ability slot, so we're ready to go. And then you're going to choose your monster cards. One of the things that we found out early on is that you need to get monsters on the board fast. If you don't have them and you wait for them just to appear, it sucks for the first little bit.
It's too slow.
But when you get them on the board, it actually starts to get the intensity to game. Now, what we did not add into this, but I think we maybe talk about it a little bit, is that we need some layer of tension to push the action. And so there's got to be a time component. And so we'll talk about that when we get to those next pieces.
When we...
But let's just maybe for the sake of like everyone watching will go through a section and then maybe talk about the section so
Yeah.
that we're not getting hung up and we can get holistically. So generally the setup is that pick character, get ability, get monsters on board, ready to play game.
Yep.
Now we get into the actual play. What do you do on your turn? What can you do? So go for it, Ryan.
So basically you do movement first, which is flip an adjacent tile that's adjacent to your character to reveal more path. Because basically the storyline is all the lights are out and we need to navigate these hallways to get to where we're going. So we're like uncovering with our flashlight one section of hallway at a time. If the path opens up, which means that like it flips it and I have my character is in a way to move along this path, you move down the path until the path ends or is blocked. So, and then you get one rotate of an adjacent tile. So now you have.
Do you want to demonstrate? You want me to demonstrate?
Yeah.
Maybe
I think that'd be good.
maybe we could do a little bit of back and forth on it.
Cool. Yeah, because it will. That's why I said you can see my comment of like, this needs to be a little drawn diagram or something of how this works.
So characters on this upper right-hand side.
Okay.
I'll move this over here a little bit so you can see it. And so that's my first turn, and I'm going to be able to say, all right, I'm going to flip this one. Now,
it's not rotated towards you, right? So then you would use one 90-degree turn to move it, and now you can go down the path. And as long as you can keep going, you can then flip over this tile.
So we have one more time, and I don't know if it'll connect. And you can flip it any which way. No,
Oh.
I cheated. So that's where I would.
So you
be
dead
stuck.
end.
I'm
You
done.
would be dead. You would be dead ended.
Yep. we're
Okay.
out.
Can you turn it back to? Okay. So then, I put this that once a player has chosen a path, that they can't backtrack. So maybe we could talk about that once we're done with this section.
Sure.
So then repeat step 1 until the path ends and the path is blocked, which is what just happened to you.
You did. Yep.
Right?
Just to put it.
Oh, sure. Oh, jeez. Okay. So flipping tiles. So if the path connects, continue down the path, flipping tiles and moving forward until the path ends. You only get one 90-degree rotation per turn unless you have a specialty card, which I misspelled have.
You misspelled happens like 20 times in there.
Well, I was probably just copying and pasting my first misspelling, if I
Okay,
had to guess.
Fair enough. I kind of thought that because then I was like, there was a point where I was like, yay, you spelled happens right.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So, okay, yeah, so I like that. So at this point, I'm dead-ended, but
Yep.
where do we want to keep going?
So that is the end of your movement, right? And now you're going to be
First
like,
part.
great. Now the next part of my turn happens, which magical stuff happens. Is just what I called it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the event, right?
Yeah, it might. So Mike has something in the chat. Is it possible to create a loop inadvertently? Yes, but you would be able to then rotate one of them to get out of the loop, right? On the next turn. You could totally make it into a loop, but you can always rotate.
You could always get out of loops. You may just be stuck that
You
one
may be
turn.
stuck that time. Yeah. Okay, so magical stuff happens, which means pull an event card. So it's sort of like the idea is you got to the end of the hallway, and now like you're stuck, and now something's gonna happen to you.
So all enemies gain 3. Oh my goodness, or max.
Yeah.
So that's a bad one because if you had all the enemies like down, which they're all up on here, we would we have little counters that we'd have on their cards. So you maybe beat an enemy down. So let's just take this for an example. Let's say you had an enemy here, and this enemy you had already been fighting him. He was down to 1 hit point. What is he? He's a 3. He's a 3. So then he gets all his health points.
He gets all his
back.
health back.
You would have been like, yeah, I got one more turn. I'm gonna fight this guy because that would be your action. And now he's full back to health, and you are in a big battle.
Oh, that's a thing. It could be. Mike says, if no enemies on the board, spawn one enemy. I'm guessing that because we're going to start out with enemies on the board, I'm thinking that there's going to be always enemies on the board if I had to guess.
Actually, in the multiple gameplays that it's almost it's the opposite. Like, it's hard to get the enemies off the board.
Right. The enemies should feel overwhelming. That's what almost part of it
They're
is.
constantly attacking you, and that's where the puzzle is like you're trying to get around them so you don't have to, you're like avoiding them, and they're hunting you a lot.
Okay, so here's the steps. Magical stuff happens. You pull an event card, draw an event card from the pile, and read it out loud. So you did that. Follow the directions on the card. Discard the event to the bottom of the deck. Okay, so now that you've done the event, now I had this as, let's do this, which is the action moment. So the action moment has 3 options that you can do right now. One of them is draw an action card. So I'm down here. One of them is draw an action card from the pile and read it out loud and follow the directions on the card. You could do that. You could fight a monster, which means you could approach a monster you share a connecting path with and initiate a battle. So you could do that. Or you could flee, which is run back down the connecting hallway until you hit a corner or a room or a dead end.
So I'm gonna mock it up. We're not gonna act like we're doing this as a full playthrough. So
yeah,
let's do a monster piece. So let's just say in this particular case, and let's throw a monster on the board just for the sake of things. Put this guy right here. Let's say on your turn, you had gone to like here. You're on this, and you could connect to this monster because on your turn, for whatever reason, you're in that corner. And you said you could pick the action. So I could pick the action card and be like, yeah, I'd rather pull an action. Or, no, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to fight this guy.
Yeah, because you might want to kill him. You might want to get his stuff.
Or you're like, if I take an action card, I could screw myself, and he could get to me on the next turn and try to kill me. Or
right,
at least try
because
to
if
fight
he's next to you on the next turn, you have to fight him.
So in this case, you might just say, I'm going to flee. And so this is where we were having some debate a little bit, and so we may have to do this, but we were thinking, like, you had to flee to a corner, so you may only be able to flee.
See, I feel like what's fun about flee is you're running back down the hallway because you're freaked out.
Well, and that's what I was saying, though, is like, sometimes you can flee too far.
But I feel like it's almost like if you're fleeing, you're just like that's what's great about the word flee, right? Is you're just like, oh my god, I am running full. That's what I think about in the lore in my head, is that you would be running until you were safe, right? Which is
sure. So I think that's why we have to debate it. It's like, how far can you flee?
Yeah.
And so in its case, let's just say you go back to the room.
And one thing we were saying is it could be like, let's say you had a piece right now of the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
You might be like, it might be advantageous for me to just flee backwards down this and start a new path. Now that I have this cool new, piece that I'm trying to get to the corner.
Cool. Got it.
Okay. So any one of those. Okay. So then once you do your action, you fight the monster.
So let's do an action because we're not playing the game for real. So like, let's say I was back over here instead. I was like, all right, I'm going to pull an action. Let's see what the action is. And damn it. Break your ankle. Miss a turn. So,
oh man!
So it was bad. I should have fleed. My action wasn't good because action could do both.
Because now, so now they're getting closer. The monster moves closest. Okay, so you always end your turn with moving the monster. So the monster closest to the player moves. The monster gets 2 actions. Rotate one adjacent tile 90 degrees. The tile can be under the monster. Move down the path 1 space closer to the player.
And in this case, he didn't need to rotate because he just moved down the spaces.
Yeah. And then monsters cannot enter corner rooms. If a monster encounters a player on the board, a fight is immediately started. So this would be a fight right now.
Well, and this is what my question was, just to clarify. It's like, he got 1 closer. Does he actually have to be on the block to be the fight? So you're like, oh shit.
Oh, right. Turn. Like next time. And now you're going to miss a turn next time. And so he's going to get you. So yeah, I agree. Like maybe it has to be.
You have to be on, you fight in the block.
Yeah. Okay.
I should have fleed. You're right.
Yep.
That's what I should have done. All right. So that's it. We got to that point. Now where do we want to talk about the
So
fight?
let's see. So that is the end of the turn.
Yep.
So then my next sort of question on here is now, what happens if you flip over a monster tile? So there are certain tiles that say monster, enemy, in this case. So if you flip over a monster card is drawn and the monster is added to the board.
Yeah, so we're going down the path. This is the path right here. And we flip this next one. So this to say we're like, okay, I need to go this way, and you flip it and you're like, ah shit, monster card.
Now I said the player must immediately battle it.
Okay.
So I made it like you screwed up and you basically walked in with your flashlight down the hallway and came onto a monster.
Okay, so I agree with that, except for what if we flipped the card and it was like this and it wasn't connected and now the monster's on that? Is it an insta battle? Maybe it's like you fight the monster if it connects to the path. It's like
Oh, I could see that. Okay, so maybe so if their path,
if when you flip the thing, the path matches your path, they can step on and the battle ensues, or you have to step on there, whichever way. We can kind of, probably you would step on the path and have to fight the monster.
So I basically put the player must immediately battle if.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, as long as the path connects. Now, of course, that next turn, if you decided to action it or whatnot, you could flee and get the heck out of there. And
right,
because if it was like you flip it and you're like, oh my goodness, there's a monster, and he goes on there, you're like, I have to flee next turn because I don't want to battle. I don't have enough.
See, and right now you wouldn't be able to flee because you have no connected path behind you.
Well, this is my terrible version of.
Oh, sure, but that could have happened, right? If somebody came by or did something.
Yeah, you could get stuck like that.
Okay, so what happens during a monster battle? So battle this guy. The player rolls both dice, red for the monster and white for player. And that was the thing. I said the difference in the numbers, which I feel like instead of, you're supposed to say the delta.
The delta.
The delta between the numbers or something.
So in this case, the white dice is 4 and the red is 2. So
you're 2 up.
2 up. So on the little monster card, 2 hits get taken from the monster.
Yep. Remove hit points after each roll from either the monster or the player.
And you get 3 rolls per battle.
The fight ends after 3 rolls or if the monster or the player dies. The absolute value of the difference isn't that's technically correct.
2
to
the
1. Best kind of correct.
2-1. So
okay,
technically
one more.
Did we beat him? Oh yeah, one more hit point to get on him. We got him down by 3. He has 1 hit point left.
Because he was a 4.
He was a 4. Oh, he hit me once. He slashed back with his.
Like
polar plague bear.
He was feeling that adrenaline of about to get taken out.
Okay, so here's the question we didn't resolve. Are we stuck on that tile now? No, where are we at?
What happens if neither are defeated?
Perfect.
The player flees back down the connecting path to the nearest corner room or as far as they can get from the monster.
Okay.
Which is right there.
Perfect. There we go. See, this took a lot of thought.
Yeah.
We did this.
What happens if I defeat the monster? The monster's piece is let's say you just defeated him.
Yep, fair.
The monster's piece is taken off the board and placed on top of their monster card. Or maybe put back in the box because they're already on each one, or is the player or the pieces in the box already and you only take out cards when when a
Yeah,
monster gets
technically,
pulled.
like this board is already displayed. Like you wouldn't see
Yeah,
all these
you
monsters
because they would be upside down on a thing
yeah,
that you're drawing.
Because the idea is, anytime we get a monster, like you have this pile of monster cards over to the side.
Agreed.
And when you pull it out, you're like, Polar Plague Bear came out, so that's why he
Totally.
came on here. And now you're able to kind of track
and
his
be
hit
like, he's
points
dead.
and do all
That's
the
his
things.
dead body on the card.
Yeah, but he could always be resurrected.
Totally, because there are resurrection things that are happening too, for sure. Okay, so what happens if you defeat the monster? The monster piece is taken off the board and placed on the monster card. The player gets 3 health back.
Or whatever the card actually. We may have to say that because each card, if you fight like a Polar Plague Bear, you might get a couple more hit. Oh wait, no, you're right. Any defeat of a monster, you get 3 points back plus whatever.
Plus whatever on the card.
Yep.
So really hard enemies might give you 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, like we have a 9, and I think we have a 10 in here. Yep.
Okay, so then the player gets any rewards printed on the monster card.
Yep.
Now, I mean, did we want to give the monsters buffs? So, let's say not even a buff. Like, do we want to have printed on the card that every time you get Santa, he has a sleigh piece?
So I think.
Or do we want that to be dynamic, something that
Dynamic.
you add to a monster
Yeah.
every time, or is that too
I
like
think it's dynamic.
much?
I
Just
like
too much?
I like it, and so let's give you an example. So this sleigh right here is actually multiple parts. So if I were to take it apart, the sleigh would be sitting off to the side in 4 maybe pieces. Now it wouldn't be on the board like this, but just so you for a demo is you have 4 pieces that you're trying to collect, and so the pieces might be just sitting off to the side like this.
Yeah.
And let's just take an example. Let's say in this case, you'll see that there's these part pieces that are in there. And so let's say the monster, let's say you were here for whatever reason. You got over here and there was some path that was already gone on. Probably just do it this way like this.
Mhm.
Let's say that's there. And the monster, that for whatever reason, the monster came out here and it was like, oh, I'm going to do it's my turn because I got to get 1 point closer to this guy. If you can see it. I don't know if that's getting it.
Yep.
And then you flip it over and you're like, uh-oh. The monster gets a part. Now the part binds to the monster and you have to kill it to get the part off.
And that's where I think like it needs those buff coins, just like the coins or whatever they were going to do for the player, is like every time you pull a monster card, you also pull a buff card for it. And so that might say they have a key already, or they get plus 3 points, or they're crappy and get -2 hit points or something. Like it could be just that's why I sort of called it augmentation or something, but like because it could be good or bad.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm confused at that part because I thought we were just talking about the part. So
No,
he goes
well,
over here.
because-
Now he has the part, so the part's on him. So
That's
I
on-
just put it on his card, right?
That's what I'm saying. But like that's because that would dynamically happen if you had landed on that part within the game,
Mhm.
right? Like over here. But I'm saying what you could do is just like when you started the game,
Yeah.
right? You started the game and you got your player and then you chose a buff that
Yeah.
you were going to add to your player. Every time you pull a monster card, they also get a buff.
Okay.
And it could be a key that they have.
Oh, I see
It
what you're
could
saying.
be that they get extra hit points. It could be that they now have a sword, right? And so they get 2 extra hit points. And so that's what we would add the little sword to that monster.
Gotcha. So in this case, then, what we're saying, and I just want to make sure I'm clear on this, is that there won't be part flips.
No, I think so. I think those
Okay.
are all the things. I think like they need to collect 4 parts, but we need to be able to spread out more parts around the board. So like maybe a monster has one sometimes. Maybe you get a card that just says you got a part automatically.
Got
Maybe
it.
you find a part on the board. Like all those different ways to get a
So
part.
in this case, now we're like, shit, you gotta fight Polar Plague Bear.
Yeah,
because
that's it.
we need the
We
slave
gotta
back.
kill him,
There's no way
right?
to do it. So somebody's got to fight this guy at some point.
Yeah.
He's gonna hold on to the part. He can never take more than 1 part. He only gets 1. So if he gets in another part, one or another card, like he's done. He's maxed on what he has right now.
Yep. Okay. So then, so that's what happens. Where are we? What happens if I defeat a monster? What happens if neither of us are defeated? Okay, we did that. What happens if a player is defeated? So let's say you got killed.
Yeah, this is man. This is a Mike as well. This is one that we talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Specifically to your thoughts. That dying sucks if you get like pulled out for a turn or for multiple turns, and we got to think this one through in a different way. So what did we come up with, Ryan?
Well, so the original thing was just like, yeah. So the very first thought was, okay, they get killed. We have a corner room that is like a laboratory, right? With crazy Christmas magic. And then you get put over there, you lose a turn or two, and then you get resurrected at half health, right? And then you just keep playing the game like normal. Pros of that side. Pros, people stay in the game, right? Like they get back in it, but they're sort of like, back in at half health, but now we still have our 4 players, and there was some penalty because you had to miss 2 turns. Okay, cons of that. It freaking sucks to have to sit out for 2 turns. I don't know if it's actually that big of a detriment or something, or is it that it's almost like it stinks, but it also isn't bad enough.
Yeah, that
in
was
some
what we were
ways.
Like, because then you just like, oh, maybe I'm just gonna get myself killed because I
Right.
gotta get to this corner and
Totally.
I know I resurrect here.
Yeah.
And it's like parts of your strategy.
Right,
as well.
is you trying to get killed.
Which is okay.
And that's okay, but I don't think that's like the vibe that we are going for. Like, it almost would seem like video gamey to be like getting, and this feels more like horror-y, where I want to be scared of these monsters that are sort of coming at me. I don't know. So then one of the ideas was, what was yours?
Yes,
You tell us
okay,
what
so
yours was.
here's the other idea, which we don't necessarily have the piece for, and probably this is the biggest question that we had for chat today, in my opinion, is that we were talking about, and this is not that the piece, but it's circular, is having maybe what we'd call like the Christmas countdown, and it would be a clock that every single, and this wouldn't be an actual clock that's ticking away. It would have maybe some dials on it, but every turn, a certain amount of minutes would pass. And so every turn, 2 minutes would pass. And the whole idea is that once you go to midnight and now it's Christmas Day, if you haven't fixed the Christmas magic by Christmas Day, no more Christmas, everything's ruined, the world goes to hell, and you didn't escape. And so, on all these turns we've been doing 2 minutes per turn, but you die now, it zooms forward
10 minutes.
10 minutes. And then like some line on the board blacks out. So now the whole point is like, you don't want the Christmas clock to run out by end of the game. You're fighting against the clock to get it before Christmas Day.
And also I feel like you could 3D print a very cool thing. That if you had like, Mike in the chat, if you had a way to reclaim time, that was just sort of like in an action thing, some kind of, or like killing certain enemies or something. I like that.
You know what? Maybe that's one of the things on one of the enemies. Like you get the harder enemies, you gain back minutes.
Yeah, like that could be almost just another thing.
And it could be like one of the cards, like an event card, re-upped 5 minutes. And so I like the idea that if you resurrect, we're thinking maybe you only get 1 or 2 resurrections. Like you have to have a point where if you don't get it, and you're like, if one person dies twice, the game over. Like, you have to have a game over. Because otherwise, if you keep regenning, the other side you could... and so, I don't know, maybe you could always regen, but because you die a certain amount of times, the time runs out faster and you're done.
Yeah, well, I don't think you would even need to do that. Because
that's true.
If your calculation is, I'm just going to keep killing myself and going over there, you're only going to get to do that a couple of times, and all the time is going to be gone anyway, right? Yeah. Like, it would have to be a really dramatic thing of being like... And I still think that you come back at half health or something. I mean, I don't know if that...
Sure.
Okay.
So this is where we're gonna do some playtesting with a couple different rule sets, and I think I'm really into this clock mentality because I think that's the extra area. So what was that? I didn't catch that last comment, but it was like death would do what?
Death should be time fast forward like crazy. Yeah. So it's like death moves it, because then you could dial it in, right? If you're like, oh, it's too hard and we're dying too quickly, you'd be like, well, it only takes 5 minutes off, or it only adds 5 minutes, or it adds 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right?
Right. No, it makes a lot of sense.
Uh,
So we'll have to. So the only thing is the clock is the element that if
and I think we should ask ChatGPT about that. Any lore stuff, anything where we want ridiculous lore to go with it, like that's where we should be putting this in. Even once this once these instructions are done, I think we should say, hey, ChatGPT, take these instructions, take this lore that you already wrote, and rewrite these instructions to include this lore
without changing a single like actual part.
Yeah,
of the instructions.
we'll still have to check it. But I
Right.
feel like that would be a good way to keep bringing in the large language model.
And I know we're like chit-chatting about this, but what we wrote in the instructions, if you follow them just as is, still runs this game really, really well. The thing that we got to is this one of adding the tension of having to do this, because if you're just running around the thing, you could constantly be running in loops and hiding from monsters.
Well, and I think it'll be easy because the monsters only move one space at a time.
Right.
Like, so it'll be easy to like kite them into a thing, I would think. If you're it's almost like we need to be able to say limit the amount of movement that the player can do depending on how easy it is to avoid monsters.
All right, where are we headed? What's the next thing? So maybe the clock is something that we're going to work into this.
Yeah. I think we got to write that up basically. What happens if all the players die?
Well, they would all resurrect technically, and all the
so nothing.
That's the thing. Nobody dies anymore. I think we're saying that the clock is what kills the game.
Yeah.
You could always resurrect, and if you resurrect, though, you're at half health. Like, you want to give it... Like, you don't want to just give him everything, because then it's... To your point, I appreciate that, is that you could game it.
Yeah.
And you just regen yourself, and you're like, oh, I don't have any consequence to dying.
Okay. I'm writing that in. Okay, what happens if a monster is connected to my path? Now... we were saying right now, basically, that like it doesn't matter, right? Like we're kind of moving in a one space at a time,
right?
And so even if a monster is connected with my thing, it doesn't mean that we have to fight or that we have to engage with them at all.
And so what we're trying to say is, and I'm gonna get some distance. I gotta find a card that I'll use this one. So let's say like the monster is here, right?
Yeah.
And you can see, man, it's going to be nice when we have parts that aren't flying everywhere like that. And you are right here. You're in eye shot of the monster, but he's not close enough to know that you're there.
And so he would move forward and I could move forward. But like, so let's say, move him back one, the monster. Let's say it's now my turn.
Yeah.
Can I move all the way down that hallway or all the way back on my first turn? Can I just move infinite spaces one way or the other because I have an open path?
So you were the one that was saying no backtracking from
That's
the beginning.
So, but I'm saying like, what I was saying is like, let's say you pick a way forward. You can only move down that path. You can't like go, and I'm also going to move backwards down the path too.
Yeah, you can't.
So you could move to right there.
Yeah. But then your turn's over.
But then you could say, I want to rotate the path behind me, or now I want to open up. I want to flip over that one.
This one here.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
And now I want to rotate the one underneath me.
Yeah, because we did talk about that. Can you rotate the path underneath you and
to move?
And we're thinking you can.
So then now I'm open again, and now
you can continue your.
I could
path
continue.
forward.
I could continue my path forward. So now flip over another black one, the one right there. Boom, move me down, and I have to move, right?
I think you can make the decision. You can flip it and say, you know what, I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
But if you move, you still have the next bit, and you could actually technically flip any one of these, even though the path doesn't connect.
Oh, is that true?
Or No, that's the question.
No, I don't think you can because the lore is that you're lighting up the hallway that
Okay.
you're in.
Got it. So then I flip.
Great. Keep going. Okay, so now you finally hit a thing.
I'm done.
So that would be your turn.
Yep.
And you have completely moved away from that monster.
Yeah, you were able to. You were right up against him, and you took a gamble. That, but you know what? By turning yourself right there,
you
but,
knew.
But the monster could always have turned you. If this lineup didn't happen,
yeah,
I would have been battling a monster.
Yep, that's true. So you can stop wherever you want, even if the path forward is connected. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, because I think you got to have that choice to say, you know what? I'm just gonna stop right.
Well,
like if I wanted to go, like I was here.
This is where I think the play testing with 4 people playing it all at once and legit monsters being on the board and all of that will be good because we'll know like these monsters. I'm running around these monsters, right? It's not even like a thing. And if that's the case, we can give them more movement or we can give them more things to do. Okay. What happens? So look, we got half an hour left. So what happens if all the players die? I said clock expiring is the only way to get the game over. What happens if monsters connect to my path? We talked about that. Where are the sled parts found? I said sled parts are found in 3 different places. Under tiles hidden throughout the board. Monster augment cards can give keys to monsters.
So the augment cards are going to be somewhere else. We don't have those yet, but imagine some cards somewhere.
Yeah, a little pile of like coins, I suspect. Action cards can give players sled pieces. And then you said your comment was all the sled pieces should be on the board. If monsters get a tile, they can carry a piece with them until defeated. So you don't think that like you should just be able to pull a card that says, bam, Adam has a sled piece?
I really like the idea that you have to earn those.
That you got to earn them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Like you have to find them on the board or get them out of the monster. Like, because if you let's put the lore in there. Maybe is that you're in these dark areas and something blew up and that's where the sled got spread across the board. And that's the whole reason you're trying to get through this anyway, is to escape this thing. So you're going through the hallways, finding the parts to the sleigh and getting back to the room to get out of there.
Right.
Kind of think about any sci-fi or horror thing is usually like, we got to go from this room to this room to get that thing. And that's what you're doing. That's the whole fun of this.
Yeah. Okay. So I like that. I cross that out. What happens when I find a sled piece? When a player finds a sled piece, they must race back to the helicopter or race to the helicopter pad room to drop it off.
And so this is where it's going to be kind of fun too, is that I think we talked about the actual meeple being able to like put that little piece in there. It wouldn't be the big piece. Like the big piece always sits on a monster card or it's just what's being collected over here once you get it. But it could even be where if you get the piece, let's say you fought a monster and this is what your thing is. We have your player card, remember?
Yeah.
And so you're just putting the piece on your player card. And so maybe your meeple is really just running around the room. I like the idea that meeple would actually be carrying
I feel like he
it.
needs something. Like they need like even if it's just a generic sleigh piece and there are 4 of them that we pop in there
That are
I feel
smaller though.
Yeah, because you want to be able to say like, oh, he dropped it because he died, right? Or he did something, so now it's just sitting on the board waiting for somebody to pick up.
Yeah.
Okay, so they got to race back. If the player is defeated, they drop the sled piece. Okay, I feel like that.
Yeah,
that
I
makes
love
sense.
it. I think it's so. In this case, this is the humongous sled because we wanted to actually put the meeples in the sled itself.
Yeah.
But let's just say that it was small enough. Like, let's say I died for whatever reason. I go to regen room, but I had a part.
Yeah.
It would. Be
And I
like,
think it should be like the shotgun piece where it has a little thing sticking out of it, so you can put it on your player or into a monster.
Do we have the little guy?
Yeah.
Are we missing the shotgun?
No,
Oh,
he's
sweet.
right there.
So this would probably be more to scale. Is that you'd have like a little piece of the sleigh.
Yeah.
It's back on there. And
Totally.
Might be in the regen room.
And it would be cool if it looked like a little backpack or something. I think or with like a piece of a sleigh, like the.
I was thinking like the sleigh itself looks really cool here. Like this is just off to the side. It's visual, and you're building it over here. So, but then the sleigh pieces could be 4 backpacks or something.
Totally. Yeah,
4
exactly.
gears or
Generic something. And when you drop that off, then you're like, sweet, I'm going to put these 2 pieces together of the sleigh.
But the cool thing is, like, let's say we got these 2 pieces to the sleigh already and they were already there. This is where it's fun because the sleigh might be like sitting here like half built.
See, you're half built. Yeah.
And so that's why you're pulling those things
100%.
in. You're like, oh God, it's getting built. We need to get that done.
Totally. Because then it feels like tangible, like you're really making a sleigh.
Yeah. That's the whole point of it.
Okay, so end gameplay we are at.
Oh, we're finally to the end. How do we get this thing won?
What happens when we bring all 4 sled pieces to the helicopter pad corner room? Okay, so sled is built.
So sled's built. I do think every player has to be in the sleigh room.
To pull the...
For end game scenario to begin.
Okay.
Because the whole point is you're making the sleigh, you're trying to escape. So, like, let's say somebody's getting closer to the sleigh room with the last part. You're like, everyone, your turns are to make it to the sleigh room.
Yeah, like everyone just starts. Okay.
I think the challenge might be is that, like, if you're already in the sleigh room, you're like, well, do you just sit there the whole time? And you may not, because you may want to draw a monster away from yourself.
Or kill a monster
like
or something.
Yeah, like you just need to do some stuff. You have a couple... Try to get it off the board so that it clears the path for your friends. This is where the co-op part comes in.
Mike says you got to pull the Christmas candy cane lever simultaneously or something.
Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about endgame because I think that's the fun part of this.
All right, so let me write in like all players must meet in the helicopter pad.
We're still writing these things
corner
out.
Room. Okay, and then a scenario card is flipped.
So we didn't. Okay, let me talk about this piece if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So one of the things that would happen at the very beginning of the game is when you're setting up the board, and we hadn't put this in the setup yet, is that there would be 6 scenario cards that would be sitting off to the side, and you just randomly shuffle it. You pull one scenario card face down, and then you discard the rest of those scenario cards. You're not going to play those for the game. So your scenario...
End game scenario, right?
End game scenario is that you could have 6 different kinds of ways that you'd win the game. And so then that way, anytime you get to this thing, you're not just stuck with like, oh yeah, we're just going to go fight Dr. Frost or whatever it is. But it's like, it could be a couple different things.
Yeah, and I imagine some of them would be harder than others. You know, after you played the game a bunch, you're like, phew, we got killed Dr. Frost. That was the easy one.
And in the chat bubble, off to the side, or in the... I think I put the scenarios. Yeah, there they are.
Okay.
So if you read just the title of a couple of those scenarios, I think, and those were all ChatGPT created. So here's what you could potentially do.
Yeah, Polar Protocol. The players managed to activate the emergency protocols, triggering a surge of North Pole's magical energy that vanquishes the Snowman Spirit and its minions. The facility goes into a lockdown mode, the security systems kick in, and the rescue helicopter is alerted to evacuate the survivors. So it's almost like it doesn't exactly say, it's lore, right? We would have to figure out what that exactly means for our game.
Right. What are because I think what we did is we asked, okay, well, in that scenario, what is the criteria to beat it? But give the kind of like scenario. So in that one, it's like you're having to go and maybe it's like, okay, to get the sleigh off to Mike Azul's original thing, you all get to pull the candy cane lever.
Totally. All go to the to the laboratory room and meet all together, right? Like
meet together, pull the thing, and then like maybe the sleigh, they took the sleigh.
No, they can't see you, Adam. It's all they're seeing instructions. They're not seeing your fun sleigh. Woo!
Like, you took the sleigh to this room. Now you have to make it to this room.
Oh, we're all in the sleigh together.
Yeah.
I thought we were just running from room to room.
So everyone gets to here, but you're stuck because the Christmas magic will not allow the sleigh to go around. So, because it would, like, if you were here and you're like, yeah, I got the sleigh, and then you pulled the scenario card, you're like, ah, shit. So you're like, you take the sleigh because you can only make it to this room, and then I was always thinking it might be like, this part of the board has so now the rest of this board doesn't matter anymore, and you try to make it across this in some way. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah. The how the end, because so I don't think, to me, I don't you're just flying to each spot. Like the pathway doesn't matter at this point. You're just going from one spot to another.
I don't know. Let's talk about the other scenarios. We're just like give some other ones because I thought
Santa's reindeer cavalry. Players uncover a hidden stable of magical reindeer within the facility by finding and assembling an ancient sleigh navigation device. Players call upon Santa's reindeer to fly them to safety. As they leave, the snowman spirit is rendered powerless, confined to the facility.
Yeah, we definitely need some criteria on this.
It's just, I mean, these are just the lore, right? Mm-hmm. So we need to be like, oh, that means
you have to do these. It's like a puzzle. This is the biggest puzzle part of the game. You like, now you've got this. I think too, it's if you get this sleigh, maybe your all your health is regen to total, like for end game, everyone's up.
It depends on how hard it is,
fair,
right?
Fair.
Like, so what are within the confines of what our players can do? Basically, what are some of the ways that you can that there would even be able to be scenarios, right? So I think like one of those could be killing all the monsters on the board. Is that an in-game scenario? And then once you've killed everyone, then you can go back? Is it just meeting up in a room?
Yeah. And Mike puts a good question out there. It's like you're powering the sleigh. So some of them are, because I'm imagining if you have a magical thing going on. Right?
What I thought it was is we need to shut down Christmas magic.
Yes.
I think that's like we have our escape vector, like we have our escape vehicle. And now, like we have this is monsters are gonna take over the whole world if we don't do something about it before we leave. And so the in-game scenario is here's how you're shutting down Christmas magic.
And maybe I'm misremembering because I throw those scenarios in, but here was a couple of them that I remember off the top of the head. One of them is you heal Dr. Frost by turning off the magic in some capacity. So you had to all meet in the center 4 pieces, and now Dr. Frost's magic thing gets turned off. And then you can go to the sleigh and go away. So that's the fun ending. That's the good one because he's good.
That's the fun.
The other one is you kill Dr. Frost by like going to the separate rooms.
Yeah.
And pushing the button which, sucks the magic in. And of course that's just a storyline. Everyone gets to the room and then you're like, as long as you make it to the room, game over. You turned off the thing and you're done.
Melting Dr. Frost. That's good.
Yeah, you need.
I look at this one. Frost's Redemption. In a hidden lab, the players find a mind transfer device that Dr. Frost built before his demise. One of the players must sacrifice themselves, transferring their consciousness into the snowman's spirit and regaining control over the facility. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so then, all of these, it's almost like I said, this is the lore. We need to figure out what is actually possible within our things because we don't want to make it so hard that you're like, go and uncover all of this stuff. Or
like it's not going to be just the same gameplay we just played. Like, and flipping the thing, like the end game has to have enough that it's like just enough of a challenge, but it gives you kind of like one of 6 puzzles that you need to do. And I like the variance in that every time you get to end game, it's not the same thing.
So okay. So I feel like one end game is all
corners.
Like let's just do one. Like all players meet in one room.
Yep.
Okay, so one corner room. So I don't know what that, and then we'll just pick whatever lore we want for that. Okay, so all players must stand in opposite room or like in all 4 corners, or because sometimes we only have 2 players, right?
Yeah, 2 or 4 then, or 1. Like if it's a single player, they have to go to one room. If it's 2 players, it's these 2 rooms. If it's 4, it's these.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, cool. So separate rooms based on how many players. Okay. What all monsters are defeated? All monsters currently on the board are defeated?
That's a great one. That's a harder one.
Yeah.
You get the hard scenario. Kill all monsters. So
board must be defeated. No new monsters can be added.
Correct.
No new monsters added.
And you're just playing by normal rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's all normal at that point. Okay, so that's 3 different ways we could have something happen.
There was something I liked, like maybe meeting in the 4 center squares as well.
Okay.
Like you have to get the path so that you're all in the middle.
In the 4 corner squares.
4 middle.
Oh, sorry. 4
middle. Yeah.
Middle squares. Okay. Anything else? Like, what else could be? I mean, in some ways, you're pretty limited on what people can do at this point.
Yeah. I think that's enough for maybe now, just to like, yeah, what other kind of ways could you do that? Shoot.
Because, like, you can't expect people to have weapons or certain items at this point, right?
Well, it could be that you had to do, like, you know, take something to a specific, another room, like we were talking about before, because we did all 4 corners. And then what did we do?
Like, maybe 2, sleigh pieces must be brought to a corner room for repair.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about. I remember this. Yeah, so we would have to, as a group, like blaze a trail.
Like if monsters kill you, well, I mean, I guess that doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
You would drop it, but there would be other people there to grab it.
And you still get your respawn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. It feels like it's like a Goonies, or like you're like pulling yourself together, or
yeah. There was one about somebody sacrificing themselves. Do we want like one of those?
I mean, that's a sad ending, but I like
totally.
I like it.
And it forces like somebody to be like, fine, I will lose the game.
Yeah.
And sit out while you guys
actually that's that's the end of the thing anyway. Like maybe you have to go to the room and all the other players have to go. Like if it's a single player game though, or 2-player game.
Sacrifice one of your own, but creatively in my chat box. Nice. Okay. So we could do like choose a player to go to a specific corner room and sacrifice themselves.
Oh, what about
they get to write their name on the inside of the box or something like that. You know, like I always like permanent things where you go like, oh,
wouldn't it just, because we haven't talked about an actual Dr. Frost battle. What if in that case is like Dr. Frost is really like an apparition, so this like sacrifices himself so that he becomes in the flesh, and then you have to get him killed by one of your other players.
No, man, I feel like that might be too complicated.
I know. But I like the idea that we have to do something with Dr. Frost.
Oh yeah, well, and I feel like that is so dumb that we haven't done that. I feel like I put in that Dr. Frost gets added to the board as soon as you build as soon as you build the thing. So so one of these definitely has to be kill Dr. Frost.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that could be a simple one even, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, let's just go out there and kill him, get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Whoever has the most health, go out and get him.
And, well, I was thinking, too, it's like everyone has to take a lick at him or something, or...
Sometimes I feel like you're just trying to get the hell out of there at that point. You're just saying, hey, I have the most. You're like, I skip my turn. Let Adam just keep going. I don't know. Can you do that?
Skip
your turn.
I don't know. I think you still have to make some sort of move, like Dr. Frost orgy.
Oh God.
Hey.
No, we're all down. We're all looking down at his dead body.
Yeah, we're like, you've been done, boy. Where's the key? Oh, you know what? What if that was always the end? Like, whatever you're doing is you're getting the actual ignition key for the sleigh. Like the end game has some weird scenarios where you're going here, and it like you're always trying to get Dr. Frost to appear. By going to 4 corners, Dr. Frost comes in the middle. By going to the 4 middle part, Dr. Frost spawns on map here. by doing this, Dr. Frost spawns, and then you have to kill him. And
so the end scenario is do the thing and then kill Dr. Frost.
Yes.
Like, so you always have to kill Dr.
because that's the
Frost.
that was the north of all of this is Dr. Frost is some part of it.
I think it just depends on how, like, is everybody bored at this point, or is everybody like does this end game scenario need to be longer or shorter, right? Like, should it feel like a one little awesome thing that you do at the end, or is it more fun to have it like be complex?
I'll just use a video game. It's like the Halo driving the warthog on the exploding ship. You need that because we could always put the clock into it as well, and it has to be that it's like that cool what we were just doing in the game shortened a little bit. To your point is that once you get here, you're feeling like you won, and it's like, because I'm thinking sci-fi stories. If you've watched Aliens, where Ripley, she gets to the end and you think she kills the alien and everything's good, and you're like, I'm about to fly away, and then you go and the alien comes back and you have that last battle. Like it's in that theme is that you feel like you get out of there, but that's, I don't know. I like something about really having to win that game in some capacity by fighting Dr. Frost, and he keeps coming back, or he's the first time.
Are you moving the clock forward 2 minutes every time after that? So you got to have still a big chunk of clock before you get to end game scenario.
So maybe that's the thing, is that once you get to end game, clock is either not a part of it, and the scenario is like you have to do it in a certain. Yeah, that's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like we're close to something there. Like let's just say it this way: end game scenarios like that. Is this a good or a bad thing? Are we going down the right kind of path?
Right. Because I mean, I suppose you could just say once the final sled piece is uncovered, Dr. Frost is added to the board. You have to bring all 4 sled pieces and kill Dr. Frost to beat the game, right? Like you wouldn't have to have scenario cards or anything. Like you wouldn't have to have any of that if you didn't want to. Like if that was simpler and you were just like, oh man, and the end of the game is getting him and killing him, and like I'm running back with the piece and everybody else is going out to kill Dr. Frost, and we'll meet in the helicopter pad at the end.
What if it's a hybrid of both? Maybe that scenario card gets uncovered the first time you bring a piece to the room.
Yeah, like you're buying or well, that's what you would do if you were selling it. You're like, here's the in-game pack of scenario cards, 20 new scenarios.
Well, and see, I liked it just because it gave that different feel to the end. You're like, because if you know you're gonna kill Frost every single time,
right? Yeah, and I see what you're in. Like that's why I was totally like going along with it and being like, hey, it's almost what level of complexity is still fun,
sure,
right? And so does it need something at the end that it's a whole new, like almost campaign, right? Like mini campaign at the end, or does that just feel like a letdown and dragging it out? I don't know.
I think because we talked ourselves through this, like it didn't feel as fun because we're talking our way through this. But when I played it, like getting to the end takes 30-ish minutes or so. Like this game probably takes 45 minutes to beat. And
I bet it's longer than that. But
I played it 2-player with my son 2 times thus far, with everything minus the game scenario part, the end scenario.
Game. Yeah. It's like just collecting
and getting it, and it honestly gets to so here was the only problem is there was no clock, so it didn't feel like there was pressure to get anywhere.
Sure.
I wanted it to tell a story, because I guess I'm just like into this whole story.
Well, and the whole part of it was the lore, right?
Yeah.
That was getting built for us.
And that just gave me something like the scenario cards could always. I like the idea that it could be advanced or something later down the line, but maybe this is where we kind of land the plane for the evening, because I think all of the other rules minus the final scenario and end game is what we got. Before we were like, what is the end game?
Yeah.
Now we're like, oh, we got
Refining
scenarios,
it,
and
yeah.
it's really close to what it is. And so I think the answer is we got to gameplay the hell out of that.
Well, so here's what I was thinking for the.
I'm coming back over there.
Okay, that sounds good. Here's what I was thinking for the the gameplay that we do, like the invite people out and have them actually experience the game and play it.
Yeah.
Like it sort of feels like we do one with where we say we're going to play through this game twice tonight, right? We're going to play through this one way where it has scenario cards and these types of things for the end, and the other way we're going to play it like, you know, maybe we do the simple version and a more complex version, right? And you say we're going to use this rule set for the first playthrough and see what everybody thinks and do a 15-minute debrief at the end of what we thought was fun, right? And then play it again with this different complex thing and then do a 15-minute debrief at the end of that, and it's going to take 3 hours, you know, or whatever. But it's an evening of doing it and being on the show, right?
I think that would be the awesome part. And
Yeah.
then just like, and you and I may just have to be sitting there not playing, but helping facilitate.
Yeah, I
and
was wondering.
explain.
It depends on how many people we get. If we
Sure.
want there to be more people and stuff.
I think we did some really good instructions now. Like I feel like if you gave that to someone, and maybe I need to get man, I see a lot of Michael. Thank you for all the feedback.
Totally.
You're gonna we need to get you as on the show. I'm gonna say it right now. We
totally.
need your voice on
100%.
here the guy has a bunch of sweet board games.
Oh,
He's
nice.
like he is a
Well,
board
see,
game
we need
fanatic.
that. That's what we need is
But-
the knowledge he brings.
Yeah, get your voice in the room. We can talk to you about this maybe on one of the next times
Yeah.
that we're doing some things. Maybe not the next show because I think we are going to be both in remote locations. Some other
Yeah,
things
that
that
might
might
be
need
hard.
to happen. But I like where we're at now.
Well, and I think like you said, maybe it's figuring out what that clock is, right? Because we feel like that is important. I do, for having there be some kind of suspense of anything.
I think that gives that tension.
Yeah.
So as a maybe going, let's see, it's we have 6
We have
minutes.
6 minutes, Adam.
So I'm gonna try something here. Talon's not here to see this.
Yeah, Talon always dishes out because he has to get up early, so we do all of our tinker catting.
Yeah, after he doesn't know that
He
this
doesn't
is
know.
thing.
Don't tell him.
But what I wanted to do real quickly is see if we could get a 3D printable piece of the board.
The tile.
I need you to measure. Here you go.
Okay.
You're the measurer.
I believe these are 1.5 inches, but
What does that equate to in millimeters? Isn't like isn't an inch 24 millimeters esque? So that would be what?
it says
36?
31. Or no, you're right, 36.
Should be around 36 millimeters.
Yeah.
So 36. So
you give it these little rounded edges, right?
Yeah, I was gonna see like it should be. Oh yeah, radius. Oh yeah, look at that.
Perfect.
All right, what's the height of it in millimeters? Probably not even 3. So it's wait, hold on a second. Let me see this.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like
This is it's a little weird. So that's 3. Yeah, 1. So see this little. side
was
right
my
there?
other measurement right then?
Yeah, 36. It's a little bit more than 36 because.
I mean,
what
it
is
doesn't matter.
24.
Like, who cares? I just bought those because they come 1.5 inches or whatever.
Yeah,
and I
but
was
if-
like, that seems about right.
Okay, so I'm gonna do 3. I think that's sufficient enough. I just want to see how quickly we could create something. Like that is literally the tile size. Does that not look like kind of what we're hoping to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what I was thinking is if you could see the edges, you might be able to know the next piece. So you might not want to do that, but if like I took this and then let me just see what this path was. If I did this at 10 millimeters. So my thought was you go 10.
Okay.
And you just pull that on the board. And what I'll do is let me put this at, what was it? 36. And then you take both of these and you do your alignment.
Okay.
And then
I don't know where this is going.
Oh, you don't know where it's going? Then you raise this up, maybe 1, 2, and you group them. You have a path.
Oh, I see. So this is the path on the. It's not just an image.
Yeah, I mean, this is a way if you wanted it all 3D printable, right?
That's true.
Is that cool? Like, or is it not what you were thinking?
You would be able to see though, right? By looking at it from the top.
No, because this is what you would see on the top, and then you flip it over, and then there's your path.
Okay, I like trying that idea.
So you have I mean, look how quickly we were saying just a couple minutes, and so you take this one, and this one would just require you to say copy paste that, rotate. Oh shoot, I gotta zoom out. Hold on a sec. This what's 90 degrees.
Yep.
And I'll just have to. I don't know if I could do it this one. I probably can. Align. Oh shoot, how do I align to that? This.
Yeah, trying to get it right in the middle. I mean, you can eyeball it, I suppose.
I'll just eyeball it for now. We'll just do it like that. That looks actually pretty close. So then there's 2 of our pieces right now.
Yeah, perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's almost even the 3rd piece because you could just take this, right? And then ungroup it. You just got to pull this like side in.
Yep.
And how can I do that? There we go. There's our pieces.
Perfect.
In
less than 6 minutes.
Oh man, does that match up? Oh man, that matches perfectly. Look at that. Right?
And they're like moving down their little track.
Yeah.
Almost like the feet of the like characters should fit within that square.
Yeah.
So they can move around as if they're going down.
Because the only reason I thought this is the first time you said it was 3D printable. I was like, well, of course we gotta make it like this.
Yeah.
Because how were you thinking we would do it?
You would have these as stickers, and you would give everyone a sheet, right? Like a printable PDF, and you would tell people, buy Avery sticker paper 3387. It fits perfectly onto this, and then you would peel them off and stick them on the top. And then they could be like designed, you know, then they could be like, oh, it could look like a cool, you know, floor of a abandoned whatever. But in this case, I mean, this would also be a way to do it without having to do
because it's like
crap.
You would just do this fully 3D printable. And here's the other way I thought you could do this is if you really wanted to, and if you printed like black and then you printed like white in the middle or whatever color you want, and then back to black, like it would be black on this side. Okay, let me.
I think all you would have to do is one change, right? You would do black all the way up until it got to where the
it started,
and then you'd be like, well, now change it to white or whatever.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is like maybe I just do a 3D printable set of this, and we can just play like just these 3.
Totally.
We'll just kind of play with it, see if that actually does what
see
we
if
want to do.
that works. See if that's how we want to do these tiles as opposed to the other way.
The reason I thought that is that I have been kind of like having anxiety about printing. I was like vinyl stickers and now cutting them the right way and making sure all of that like actually like because you used your Cricut to cut it.
Yeah.
And I was like, if we're doing this like as 3D printable as possible, we could do that. Now it doesn't solve the cool room designs that we were talking about.
No, we would definitely still have to do those.
And theoretically, if you wanted to put the stickers in here, you just print these out, still put the stickers, and they would fit in these paths anyway.
So I think that wouldn't work because now there's like ridges that the stickers need to go over. I do not see that like laying down nicely.
Well, you're thinking the sticker over the top. I'm saying like if the sticker itself, because look at this sticker.
The only bad thing about this too is like the feet of your guys are gonna have to be super tiny.
Mm-hmm.
So because they have to like go inside of each.
These could be thicker paths.
Yeah, they could.
They totally could. All right, man. I mean, that was
perfect timing.
It was right on the nut today.
Yeah.
So thanks for everyone for hanging out with us.
Print those out. I want to see like
Stealth Mouse at the very beginning and the first in the comments. You had Jason in the chat.
Yeah, Disturbed was in the chat. Talon was in the chat. Mike Azul, of course.
Who came in like and they said they were in their car?
That was Trenton.
Oh. Fair enough. What was his name?
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia.
Boo.
And of course, Michael Azul. Like, of
course.
This is helping
MVP.
us get to the and we got to get you in here because I love to get the insights. I think we're really close to just having that fully because the sprint now is get this damn thing playable. 'cause
Like
we
figure
need
out
people to do that.
exactly what it needs to be minimum viable product for playing testing.
Because here's my thought: is if I can make it all 3D printable, I could be like, hey, at work, innovation lab,
right?
Print this board because
Totally.
we want to play on it.
Yeah.
And then you'd have all the pieces, and like I would lay them all out, and it could be like one print, or here's all the monsters, here's all the characters,
Yeah.
here's all the pieces.
That's how I would like to do it at one point, is be like, what is the average size of the board that everyone has to print on, right? And then just give them files. And so you'd be like, here's all the monsters with all of the augments. Here's all the player characters and all of their buffs. Here's the player cards. And then here's one thing with all of the tiles, and here's one of all of the game board. And then you would just be like, great, okay, I'm going to print these 6 things when I go to the library next. And I'll be able to play play this game basically at that point.
100%.
Yeah.
I think, and this is even my experience because I have 3D printed games already. You saw the Santorini.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. Santorini. So I 3D printed that one, and some people are just going to be like, I don't care about the like AI pictures that you did on Midjourney. Just give me the 3D printable game because I could print it. And like, I know people do that.
Totally.
The ones that are like super fans and they want to go they'll go and do all the other things. But what is the MVP, most minimum viable product we can make that if you want to just say, print the hell out of this and you're playing it tomorrow?
Then I think we need to be able to, like, even the player cards then should have engraved things in it to say, here's the character this is, right? Or so, like, something needs to pop out of it so that if you did nothing but 3D printed and did no paper printing with stickers, that you should still be able to play it.
But I think that the cards are printed. Like on
right.
paper.
They would have to.
Just like
Yeah.
regular paper.
Right.
Like print these instructions and print these cards, cut them out, and now you can play with that.
Yeah.
Because there's other things you can send in.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want to be like, now print out 15 action cards that say the thing, on it. That would be lame. It's a phone app. That's where the action cards and stuff come in. And we just get ChatGPT to make us a freaking app that has the cards.
It's a website. We drop you.
It's a website.
So we give it away for free, but you want to come to the website and keep all your history.
Exactly.
The
And there's ads on the website, of course. Double Dropdown's got to get his beak wet.
Yeah, get that capitalization or capital.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, man. Let's do this.
Right.
Well, thank you much for joining us on the show tonight. You guys have a good one. Have a good rest of your Friday. And we will see you later. Peace out.
Bye.